All right, I want to apologize for all the technical issues. Anyone that's going to watch this later, they won't even know it actually happened, but sorry about that. Much better. Yeah, sometimes you just need to restart your internet. I think we're going to be okay now, though. Sorry about that again. Sometimes I feel like I got mercury in my veins because electronics never worked for me. I'm telling you, I don't know how many problems electronics have given me over my life, but it is not coincidental anymore. All right, now I think we're going to have a good live. I think all the bugs are done. I think we're going to have a good live now. I'll wait for my topic. It's a good continuation topic from last week. So if you were here last week, today's going to be a good one. I'm going to address a lot of the comments that I read in the the video after I posted it, so I can address them. And we can get to the bottom of some issues. If any of the doubters are going to come back, check my description. I updated it, left some links. So you got all the evidence, all the proof you need. All right, I'm going to read as many comments as I can. I'm in the Canadian military. Right now I'm working for the Navy, but I'm part of the Army. So I'm an Army meteorologist working for the Navy right now. I'm a support trade. Man, I love to see it. Tuna fish. Shout out Angela Belcher. From Wisconsin, Christy, we got Ahmed, Little Cheese, awesome. Good to see a bunch of people in here. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Shout out Christy. Thank you for your service too. Everybody that's past, present, or future serving members of any military of any country. This channel is for you. A lot of support for military members. A lot of the people in the civilian world, families, they just don't understand what we go through. So this channel is definitely, the priority is to give people a safe place to come and vent, come and chat. I have a lot of respect and a lot of love. I'm definitely going to give shout outs to everybody that's a military veteran, and anybody that's going to be willing to share. You guys or girls got a lot of courage to be able to do that. So I welcome that massively. That's why my sign right underneath, lest we forget, historically speaking, it's just phenomenal what people have done, how they sacrificed their life for us. And we continue to do that. And like I said, I got a lot of respect for any serving member. It doesn't matter if you're a cook, a clerk, infantry, whatever, refrigeration mechanic. If you're in the military service, there's so much that you guys do. We are a working machine and every part matters. You're not just a number. You're a person sacrificing your life, your freedom to do stuff that is so meaningful in this world and impactful. Much respect, much love. My wife will probably come out. She's the moderator. Yes, Taxi. Romans 15, Psalms 122. I'm a Christian. That's my main thing. Two, number one priority on this page is I owe it all to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's given me a skill. I'm here to share that with everybody. And of course, represent as best I can the light. We do everything we can, right? Without arguing, without complaining. I'm here to answer questions and be as much of a help as I possibly can in this dark world. So anybody else that has questions about anything, it's a pretty open comment section, so you can ask anything, talk about anything here. I'm a knife thrower though, so if you want to learn how to knife throw, free lessons, we do giveaways on this channel, challenges. There's a whole lot of good stuff we do on this channel, and it's only getting better as time goes on. So let me warm up. I'll throw some bullets, show you guys what's going on. The way I'm a specialty is no stick throwing. That's my specialty. I can throw rotationally. I can throw sidearm, underhand, backwards, upside down. I can throw a knife any which way you want, but my specialty is no spin, and I'll be able to address that best. Everything else, I have a very good understanding of it, but my specialty is no spin. My second specialty is trick shots and then self-defense. Combine all those three, they're not really in any particular order of skill, but those three things are my wheelhouse, and this topic today is going to be about self-defense, knife throwing and self-defense. It's kind of a continuation of last weekend's live stream, so I'm going to be able to address some of the doubters, some of the comments that were made, and we'll be able to get to the bottom of it and get more information out to you guys. At the end of the day, more information to you, more facts is better. There's always going to be doubters, no matter what you stand for. If you make a stand, you're going to have scoffers. You're going to have people that ridicule you. That's just a fact. Don't be afraid of those people. Make your stand, because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. My wheelhouse for throwing in my garage and my little range here is going to be about 10 feet. It's right up at this line here, if you can see it. And I'm going to be up to about 20 feet where the camera is about 22 feet. But I'll try to stay in range so you guys can see the body mechanics and see what's going on when I throw. When you throw 6 knives at one target, you're bound to hit your knives. Always check for burrs. Burrs are when your knives hit each other. Sometimes the steel on your knife, those are freaking in there. Sometimes when your knives hit one another, it creates a dent where steel will turn into like a razor sharp spike. And if you grab it or pull your knives out, it can cut you. So what you want to do if you're going to get into knife throwing is get yourself a file, and you can clean those burrs off. No problem. Takes a second, and you can get back to throwing. If you don't, you won't get back to throwing. Or your knives won't be silver anymore, they'll be red. I'm sure my wife will come out here because there's a lot of comments and I don't want to miss any. I feel horrible when I do. These combats are old. We have updated combats in the Canadian military. I'm in the Navy, so I wear all blacks. And so I'm using my old combats to throw, to demonstrate, some drills today, some training drills that bring you from training to instinct. That's the goal in martial arts. You want to do things as best as possible, giving you a higher likelihood of surviving. But in my combats, I feel in my zone, I feel comfortable. I'm just in my element when I'm wearing them, and I can do a lot in them. I train in everything pretty much in these. Even when I'm in the gym, I do field exercises, and I train with these, even when I'm working out. All right. Some of the comments, obviously, I'm going to get to, and some of the comments, I might just skip over because there's going to be a lot of them. I support Israel. I'm a Christian. People who don't understand war, that's not your, you don't understand sometimes the enemy and the strategies they're going to use in war. Sometimes it becomes very hard to do your job in war, if it's considered a job to some. The things people do when they strap bombs to children and blow them up, there's some pretty bad things that they do. Shields, they use civilians, women and children as shields, and try to do their attacks from behind innocent people. The media nowadays is used as a weapon. The media is not our friend anymore. The media has maybe gained our trust centuries ago and has quickly led into more politics and more deceit. And they can twist things to divide people. So what is shown on the news regarding this war isn't the truth. It's out of context. A lot of truth, whether historical documents, manuscripts, things are used out of context to distort it and to deceive people. The truth is there, but they take things out of context. And that's a very easy strategy to corrupt the history so that we're forgetting it, we're denying it, so that we become doomed to repeat it. So the media nowadays is something that hasn't been normally a historical thing in wars, is much beyond World War I. Maybe beyond after World War I, media started to, get worse and worse slowly to now our day where you just can't trust it. So what we're going to see against this war we're seeing in the Middle East is a lot of people pushing a division against Israel. The Bible says the end times, all the nations are going to surround Israel and be an enemy against Israel. We are seeing that. They are surrounded. It's like a 7-point attack. They are completely surrounded. Historically speaking, from the Jewish revolt in 70 AD, 72 AD, all the way to the Holocaust and today, they're the most persecuted and killed, slaughtered, and the most horrible things have happened to them. And everyone will never get behind them. The world is going to be for the world, and they're going to get behind anybody other than the people of the Bible. And that is the Jews first, and then the Gentiles. I am going to support them no matter what. I don't care about the divisions that happen because of it. It's the truth, and people need it, and people need to stand on the right side. I would rather stand on a side of few than be on the side of many, but be on the wrong side. So I don't care about the majority against the minority. I will stand with the minority if they're on the right, 100% of the time. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it, man. I don't think it's a time to have babies. I don't think it's a time for us to be fruitful and multiply, as much as that was one of the first things we were told to do. I think nowadays it's a tough world to raise a baby. Even in the Bible, the prophecy of the end time is, when people are going to have to flee to the mountains because war is just going to come and scare them out of their homes. The Bible says, it's going to feel bad for the people who have babies in the winter areas. That it's a tough time. It's a tough time to do that. All right, I got a lot of drills. My topic today, we'll get into that. A little bit about last week, a little bit about self-defense and knife throwing. So let me just address I know there's a lot of questions, I'll get to them. There's a lot of problem with people visualizing the practicality to throwing a weapon, because martial arts all around the world focus on hand-to-hand combat. They focus on disarming a weapon. They focus on using a weapon in hand-to-hand combat. What the problem that we see, though, is there's nothing really very professional done with a throwing weapon. Throwing has been historically awesome. Ninjas, all those cool things we see in the movies were once upon a time effective. But nowadays with, guns, rifles, whatever, and the war things we have today, it just blows out a weapon that is going to be thrown. Slingshots, spears, these weapons are still used in hunting and in protection. Every soldier out in overseas is bringing a knife with them. Sometimes your rifle will fail. Sometimes you run out of ammunition. You don't know what you're going to get into. Having a knife on you is always important, regardless of the time we're living in. So martial arts, there's facts I'm going to give you guys right now. And so you can look at these facts and kind of see where I'm going. The first fact is, out of the entire world, the percentage of people that train a martial art is 1%. 1% of the people out there are in martial arts. That's not a lot. So how many of those people are training martial arts with a knife? Less. Much less than 1% of the entire world is trained with a knife. And then how many people are training with a knife throwing it? It's not even, it's barely a fraction, right? So that's the problem we're having when people are coming out and just doubting or just denying the fact that throwing a knife can be effective in self-defense, combat, whatever. Historically speaking, like I've already mentioned, it has been. So why not today? Well, today, like I mentioned, there's guns. A lot of countries are able to carry around a firearm. Why carry around a knife? Absolutely. In my personal opinion, I would carry around a firearm if I was in a country that allowed it, but I would also carry around a knife. Again, your weapon can fail. Sometimes you're just in a situation where a knife is what's needed and a gun is not. In my country, guns aren't allowed. Having a knife on you is much easily concealed, and you're allowed to walk around with it in public. So having a knife is super key. So there's just not a lot of realism when it comes to knife throwing. So for those countries that can carry a knife, yes, are you trained to use it? Right? You know, do you have the right training to use it? Most people don't. Another fact, all the people that survived knife attacks, most of them aren't trained. It was all luck. All the survivors in knife attacks was all luck. If you notice my thumbnail, it had a recent attack, a fatal attack. Someone died by a stabbing in my country. So these things happen today. You don't necessarily need to have been stabbed or have been in an attack or a knife been pulled on you for you to take this seriously. I would rather be trained in something than not. I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? You got to be able to just be able to defend yourself no matter what, and having more tools in your box is better. And that's what leads into throwing a knife. Now I'm going to try to take this as serious as possible because, again, we just don't have a professional martial artist out there showing knife throwing. And the ones that are, because there are people, not professional, but there are people out there that attempt to show knife throwing in a self-defense, in a combat way. And in my personal opinion, and this isn't just a quick, I've studied it, I've really obsessed over this and used my personal experience and training in martial arts and combat to address what I've seen in knife throwing self-defense. And it's really, you know what, for lack of a better word, it's pathetic. It's very silly stuff. And I want to kind of show some drills today because regardless of where I'm going with this, if you're not a believer in a knife throwing person, look at this. Like, who's going to want something thrown at them? Whether the pointy end is going in or not. All bullseyes, all effective. So I've worked over 5 years just to get accurate, get power, and have the speed to deliver a throw. I can throw low, I can throw high. That training then led me into realizing, because I never thought about throwing a knife until I did, it can be effective. This can be used. Now, just because you can do something doesn't mean you want to do it. And I'll always say, for the most part, when it comes to throwing a knife in combat, I'm looking at it as a last resort. It's my last option. I've gotten a position where this might be the only thing I can do. A lot of people might not have the knowledge of a knife thrower, the way we think. It's a little bit different. We're never going to throw away our last weapon. If we have one knife on us, we're going to keep that in our hand. But knife throwers, we at minimum probably are carrying 2, 3, 4 knives. And they're all concealed. You're just not going to see them. For the purpose of this video, I got my combat knife on me. I got another hand-to-hand combat knife in my pocket. And we create, in the knife throwing world, realm, community, we create certain sheaths that can hold 2, 3, 4 knives. Very easily, compact, not heavy, very easily concealed in a sheath. So I can pull out, if I needed to, my throwing knives, I can pull out my combat knife, I can pull out another knife in my pocket. I'm never going to throw away my last knife. I have Pacific carry knives, everyday carries, EDC throwers for that purpose. But it's a last resort. I'm going to probably go to my combat knife, and my combat knife, I can do everything. I can throw it, I can use it for hand-to-hand combat. I can do this. This knife I can do everything with. And I can use it to really cause some damage, or I can use it just to stun or get myself out of attacks. I would say to everybody, the first line of defense is to get out of the fight. So if you can just sometimes pull out a weapon, intimidate your opponent, and just be peaceful in the word, say, try to come to a draw. You go your way, I go my way. A lot of knife attacks happen to people who don't have a weapon, who don't have a knife. Obviously, I'm addressing people who are going to take it seriously and who are going to, probably say, I might want to carry a knife around with me. Maybe I want to say to some people, well, you can learn to throw a knife. And that's what this is all about. Yes, I can use a knife. I can use any weapon in the hand, like a rock to a stick, now to a knife, effectively. Imagine being able to throw a knife very effectively. Throwing anything can be used in self-defense. I think throwing a knife is one of the most effective throwing weapons out there nowadays. Shock crams, ninja stars, shurikens. A lot of these things just aren't practical. Axes, tomahawks, you're not able to easily conceal them. Some of them are just too light and you're just going to get yourself in damage. Historically speaking, they put poison on the tips of lighter weapons. Nowadays, you're not going to be tipping your knives into poison. You're going to be carrying around knives concealed. If you're in a country that can carry a firearm, you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. But you're probably going to have a knife on you, maybe two. Maybe your firearm's with you, and you're going to make a moral call on what you can do. So, we brought up the fact that people aren't going to be trained. There's a very low percentage, like 0.1 in throwing weapons in the world. So with that said, if something's thrown at somebody, someone's going to throw something at somebody, that person isn't going to be trained to accept it. It's probably one of the most surprised and unpredictable attacks out there, is being able to throw a weapon. People aren't going to understand the stance when you throw. When you pull 3 clinging, soundy objects in your hand, the intimidation factor alone is going to be a very good threat. So because people aren't trained, I want to paint a picture for you. Let's say sports. I'm into sports. Let's look at this from the perspective of a baseball hitter, like a batter, and a goalie in soccer or football, depending on what country you're in. When something is coming at them, a ball is being kicked at them in a penalty shot, or a baseball pitcher is throwing a ball and they need to hit it. Now, these people are, what is considered a good goalie? What's considered a good batter? A batter at a 0.3% rate of hitting the ball is considered a good batter. He's unable to make a call perfectly. He can't make a 10 out of 10 hit. He's got to have a 0.3% batting average to be considered a good batter. Why is that? Because throwing something at someone, you got to read body language. You got to have experience and partly, I would say, luck. It's not a deal that is going to be able to be done. People aren't going to be able to, a goalie isn't going to be able to jump right or jump left wherever the ball is kicked, because he's looking at the ball and the trajectory of the ball spinning in the air, and he's going to be able to make a call. People got to read body language. People got to do a lot, and in split seconds, I can throw a knife within a second. Our brains can register a lot very quick. We are trained in defense, attack, and danger. The way the body works is incredible when it comes to that. We can register so much in a blink. But with that said, we can't be 100%. But with more training and the right training, we can make our survival in that something is thrown at us or we're throwing something at someone better. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to maybe bring our percentage like a baseball batter up in martial arts. And we're trying to just be better trained to bring training to instinct. And we got to bring a realism. You got to get your brain into that so that you can be tactically ready. And tactical means strategizing. It means to plan maneuvers to get a specific goal. And it requires a lot of planning, practical planning, realistic planning, thinking of scenarios and creating drills for those scenarios. And for the most part, you shouldn't be completing your drills all the time, 100%, or else it's not realistic. There is error in everything when it comes to martial arts, when it comes to a weapon being thrown at you or throwing a weapon. We just want to make our survival rate higher. That is the goal. So having a knife will help you. Being trained with a knife is going to help you. Being able to throw a knife adds to that training and usefulness of the knife. And that's my end right there. Throwing a weapon is effective no matter what century you live in. Now, being effective with it, doing the right training is the next step. And I'm going to show some drills today that are going to help you get your mindset ready for realistic scenarios that might present itself. You got to make quick decisions. You got to be ready to read body language of when someone might draw a knife out on you. Pull a gun. You don't have a gun. What else are you going to do? Well, one of the fastest quick draw shooters and the fastest quick knife throwers, head to head, the knife won. Not necessarily something I want to get myself into, but if that's the only option I have, there's a slight chance I'll get myself then for survival. That's all I'm looking for. One little percentage higher of survival. That's what matters at the end. So going back to this, before you even take this seriously and you start carrying around a knife to think you're going to throw it, you got to put the hours in. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. I'm telling you, millions of throws I've done to be able to get into a mindset where I think it's even realistic. And I still consider it a last resort. You got to be able to be very accurate. You got to be able to come out here day after day, pick up a knife and be able to hit that bullseye almost within the first throw. You got to be able to hit moving targets. You got to be able to hit very powerfully, very fast. You got to be able to deploy your weapon where you're going to put your knife around you very fast. These things got to be the first things you're going to be training on. And you got to get very good at them before I would even say knife throwing would be a last resort. I wouldn't even consider it an option until you've done really well in those things, those categories. So for the most part, rotationally has been the way to throw things, especially a knife, axes, tomahawks. I throw a knife with no spin. It flies out my hand like an arrow and it just goes straight to the target. That's going to make it more instinctive. I don't need to measure where I am. Wherever the enemy is, attacker, predator is, I can judge that with the training I've done, know the distance I'm at, and I'm going to be able to stick it. It doesn't matter where I am. Up close, usually not going to throw a knife within 10 feet. Bullseye. If I'm back here, it doesn't matter. Closer here. No matter where you are, right? Within 10 to 20 feet. Never have unrealistic expectations of yourself. You're going to miss. You just want to not miss as much. My target is taking a beating lately, and I'm going to have to probably replace it soon. Not exactly my best demonstration, but for the 5 I stuck, I'm happy with. All right, you can all unsubscribe now. Let's do that again. No matter where I'm standing, throwing no spin is the most instinctive way to throw. You could be on the side. Doesn't matter where you are. Really up close? Sure. You can go all the way back. I wouldn't consider any effective range for throwing a weapon beyond 20 feet and closer than 10 feet. If you're within that distance of 10 feet, I would try to get to the distance I need to then throw, or I would keep the weapon in my hand. If I'm beyond 20 feet, I'm probably just going to turn around and run anyways. I don't want to fight. So it's very instinctive. Sometimes when you're rotating an object, there's too many variables when you're trying to make a decision in combat and self-defense within a split second. Rotational throwing, you'll probably make a lot more mistakes. So no spin throwing has become very popular nowadays because it's so instinctive. Well, you can throw that thing anywhere. It's just going to come out your hand straight to the target. It's beautiful. I have demonstrated the impact that no spin throwing has, and I say it's one of the most powerful ways to throw a knife. All the energy is absorbed straight on, not downwards, sideways, whatever. It's going straight in. I've penetrated hockey pucks, frying pans, baseballs. I've pinned a tire, a car tire, you name it. I've pretty much penetrated anything. I even have more things that I've bought to demonstrate. So we're bullets. I have targets by aimbot coming in, and I'm going to see about penetrating where bullets can. So the effect that a pointy piece of steel with a lot of weight has, that's not even sharp, just pointy, is incredible. Now you add a live edge, because all my EDC throwers are going to have a live edge, it penetrates even easier. But I train, and most people, when they throw knives, they're not live edge. They just got a pointy tip. All right, I know I missed a lot of comments, and I apologize. I will be on live twice a week. I go on live Friday and Saturday, so for anybody who asks questions and I didn't answer them, I will get to yours. I will read all these questions, and I'll even make videos based on some of them. So there's going to be a lot of help coming. I'll do the best I can to help you guys with what you need. I've done push-ups and threw a knife and then caught myself. And you can see a lot of the things I've done in my video, but obviously I've natural my whole life and trained for strength. That's obviously an obsession I've had since I was a little kid. So when it comes to push-ups, pull-ups, or anything like that, you can count on it, but I love doing that stuff. 15 push-ups is too easy though. 15 push-ups in a throw, coming your way. That was just too easy. Bullseye for you. Bullseye. Oh, there you go. Not just a throw after 15, 6 throws. I'm here free for you guys, man. I just want to share knowledge, share everything I can, and we can share and learn together, because I'm sure there's a lot you can teach me. So definitely don't know everything, and I love to learn, and a lot of people that have been sharing with me in the past, the live streams, has been incredible. Elevating the heart, absolutely. I love to do that. Who is that comment from? Greener. That's a huge thing that I say. So I always say training at the beginning, not so important. At the end is when it's important. Once I've gone 2 hours, that's when the best results come. When you're tired, fatigued, your heart rate's going, your blood pressure's up, that's when you should say, right when you're about to stop, another hour. And then when you're about to stop there, I'll push another hour, and just keep pushing yourself. Set goals higher and higher. Don't hit a plateau. Always push for more. Always push for more. Benchmade knives are sick. Yeah. That's probably one brand I don't have. I got a lot of knives, but I also go to custom makers. I go to more custom makers than anything else. They have mastered the quality of steel. Hey, buddy, you brought me a can. Thank you. Thanks, bud. Hi, buddy boy. Hey.
Watcher wants to know, do you have a recommendation for sheaths for multiple knives?
Well, that's another thing. I was just talking about custom knives. I get custom sheaths made. So you could reach out to the email I left in the description. But for custom sheaths, I get custom ones made. Some of the knives come, like Tops comes with really nice sheaths. Rotating spring steel clip, Clydex. I love them. A lot of the sheaths that I have custom made for combat, and I'll show you. They're specific on what I want. we got through the topic, and I think very smoothly. I didn't read any comments. I just wanted to get through it.
I was answering some as we go.
And I feel like I definitely addressed it a little bit better that time. Anyways, this sheath here was a custom one I had made for me, a custom knife I had made. What I like about this sheath is it's lined inside. You can't hear it being deployed, and you can't hear it going back in. Sorry. My dog just smashed the table. Apologize for that. So you can always customize the sheaths how you want. And I go on, like, you can type in on Google, you know, parts for sheaths, knives, and you'll get some websites that sell you the clips. You can play around with what clips you like best. The UT clip is a very popular one. There's also some other ones that gun holsters use. And they're good grip, but they're not going to be able to rotate. You're going to only be able to wear it one way. So that's the only downfall on certain clips. I like to be able to rotate it if I want to wear it like a scout carry, on the side, on an angle, because I can deploy it better that way, or straight, whatever way I want. I really like those spring steel clips. They go on your belt and they ain't going anywhere either. But you can play around with the types of clips you want to get. They're not too expensive, so you can get a bunch of them, different sizes, and then you can add them to they're all very generic holes on all sheaths, and you can start playing around with them. Get some Chicago screws, and then you can start adding sheaths to clips to your sheaths. But I love Clydex over leather. Having the Clydex lined, because you can make sound. I don't want to make sound with my sheath. When I deploy my knife, I want to be like silent. I don't want to give an edge away to the enemy, and sound is a huge one. So being as quiet as possible might, in a situation, be very helpful. When you deploy your knife, you can give up your position and you're screwed. Because you might want to gain more distance. You want the enemy to come closer to you and you want to get your knife out. Well, you can do that. But there's some knife makers out there, like I was saying. My email's in the description. If you want to reach out to me, I will give you those makers based on what country you're in. And if you don't want to pay shipping costs, I can probably work around. I know a lot of people around the world when it comes to knife making, custom knife, and I'll hook you up. So definitely want to get something, like I'm getting something designed by Keystone Sheaths, where a bunch of knives are going to be fitting in a sheath like this, but back to back. So it's just going to be as big as this one, but there's going to be 3 or 2 knives in the sheath. So when I pull my knives out for combat, if I ever get in a situation that I will, I'll have a bunch of knives in my hand. It will just be like these 2 in a sheath. So obviously they're not going to fit like that one did, but it's going to be like 2 in the sheath. And when I pull them out, I have 2 ready, 2 shots. If I miss one, I got another opportunity. If I miss that one, I got my other knives that I'm going to keep in my hand. For the most part, the drills that I'm going to show you guys, when it comes to throwing for combat, they're drills. I'm not looking at throwing and standing still. I have a plan afterwards. I have a plan already in my mind what I'm going to do. So a lot of the times when I say I have 2 knives for throwing, it's going to be one. I'll be backing up and seeing if I need to deploy the next one. There might be another attacker. So I'll have to throw low, high, different areas, deploy my knife, and run. So after I threw them, I'm running, deploying my knife in that movement, and I'm not giving that guy much. Within a couple seconds, I've already thrown 1 or 2 knives at him, and I'm running at him with another knife in my hand. Some of those scenarios, when I think of them, it is about saving somebody. Someone's getting attacked. You walk by an alleyway. You hear some screaming. You go investigate. You're being very, like stealth about it. When you roll up, you see someone getting raped, robbed. You can come with your weapon to throw it at that person to stop them. When something's thrown, you hear something, they're going to stop what they're doing. But now they heard, and in that moment of stopping, something's being thrown at them. Deadly throw. That person's not only going to stop, they're going to react poorly. They're going to get hit, injured. Then you give them a split second of them reacting poorly because you're charging them, you're spearing them, you're throwing them off, you're throwing another weapon. You got your weapon out and you're coming at them and you're using the butt end. I love a knife that has the glass smasher on the bottom, because you come and give another hit. You take them out however you have to save that person's life. I would rather spare a life than end a life. So I look at maybe if, depending on the situation, if a gun is pulled or a knife is pulled, I'm looking for a more lethal force than I would if no weapon seen. But those are the type of drills I'm talking about when I think of 2 knives in a sheath. That's what I would say is a tactical, good EDC holder. A lot of people that are considered the ones that talk about combat knife throwing, they carry around 1 knife for throwing. And it's still, that might be all you need. You know, it's a last resort type of thing. But I'd rather have 2. It's not too much more weight. I'm a minimalist anyways, so having 2 rather than 1 is just smarter. It's going to be more effective in that matter.
So, I think it's Greener wants to know, have you used a scoop knife and what's your thoughts?
I don't know what a scoop knife is. Let me know.
And then he also wants to know who makes the best Bowie knives.
Ooh. There's a lot of good Bowie knives out there. Bowie knives, when it comes to throwing, I grab my design from John Bailey. He was like one of the best knife throwers out there. He's a pastor. Shout out to John Bailey. He's an awesome dude. And I got my design here, because this is like a Bowie design, from his mini Bow Cree. This was a custom maker in Canada, but Bowies are awesome. There's a lot of them out there. I can't say the best one, but because of this one that I own, I would have to go with the design from John Bailey, and then Joshua Shugart's the guy who made it for me. He has such a talent, and he's just a little knife maker that nobody would know about. And I think those are the best ones out there. The ones you don't know about, you find somebody, and he's just a genius. And I think some people, they don't have to be all over the internet or TV to be the best.
Sorry, I don't want to pronounce this wrong. It's SOCCP. It's a dagger.
My wife's going to be reading the comments now. She's here helping me. It's a dagger, eh? Wow. No, I have not thrown a scoop dagger. I do have some daggers that are pretty cool. I've actually never thrown this dagger. I won it. I don't have many daggers, but this is like a dagger design. They are very cool. I'm a no spin thrower, so the designs for no spin are very different, right? No spin throwers don't look like a normal knife. As much as I would carry around a no spin thrower, like one with a live edge and one that would be very effective. Here's a nice EDC carry. Again, this has like a holster for a gun. This is the type of clip that it has. This doesn't go anywhere. It clips in and it just stays on your belt. And the only way it's going to come off is if your belt comes off. But this knife here, I put a live edge on the tip. So it's a very good throwing knife. I can throw this knife better than pretty much any knife. But I've also given this aggressive pointy tip a live edge. This thing can penetrate anything. It is so deadly, this knife. This knife would be like a very similar one that I would want to have an EDC to, but I would probably throw a little handle to it. So speaking of that, I do have a Smith & Wesson boot dagger. Some daggers are pretty cool. Knives are just awesome. There's so many different.
So that's the dagger he's talking about.
Oh, it's kind of like a what's those names?
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I have one with the circle on the end. I don't know why it's not coming to me, the name. Yeah, it's got the little spinner on the end. No, it's got a name to it. But here's something that I would want for an EDC. It's got a little grip in the middle. So I can get any other work I want done, but it's got a nice live edge blade, and it's designed for my no spin throw. This one is just too light, so if this exact one was made heavier, perfect. This is pretty much perfect for a no spin EDC thrower. Deadly. Kukri? I think it's called a kukri. The only kukri I have is by Cold Steel, and it's called the Shanghai. I forget exactly because it's been such a old knife. Like 5 years ago I got it and threw it. The tip broke off of it. A lot of knives that aren't designed for throwing will never be recommended to throw. You will break them. Folding knives. A lot of knives, again, like by Tops, their steel is amazing. They can withstand a lot of beating, but even they won't recommend you throw their knives. I I'm good enough to throw them and not damage them. I'll do some throwing. You can read some questions out for me? Because I'm going to get into some drills as soon as if there's not any questions, I'm going to get into some drills. We're doing a live tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy cool live. I got all the new lights set up. So it's going to be what I consider rave throwing. Every last live of the month, we're going to do a rave throwing. Laser lights, super freaking cool. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of throwing, no big topics. I'm just here to answer questions if I have to, but we're just going to have a good time. And that's every last live of the month. So we're doing that tomorrow. So I'd probably hit the subscribe button and tune in because it's going to be freaking like, no one does this. It's going to be crazy cool.
Guns or knives for self-defense?
Guns if you can have them. But I live in a country where guns, criminals are going to have guns. But I'm not a criminal. I'm going to live legally. And that means for my country, I have to carry around a knife legally, not a gun. So if you're in a country with, like America, States, I would carry a gun. But I would also carry a knife. But obviously be smart. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. What
fixed blade would you use for everyday carry?
Fixed blades, they're going to probably be tops. Tops knives are my favorite. I have about 6 different tops knives. The Sky Marshal, the Taliban Takedown, the Steel Eagle. I love tops. They're steel, they're sheaths. Everything about tops, the way the history, how the knife was made, and you got a little background about who made it. A lot of it is like for military people, for police, special forces, paratroopers. So I really have a good love for tops. It's an American company, I know, but they are my favorite fixed blades. Full tang. All of them are full tang. I'm sure you can find a few folders, but most are full tang, heavy duty, well made. I mean, I could buy so many tops knives. Some of the designs are just like unreal.
5 says nice, and we'll check them out. Thank you.
No problem, brother. I definitely recommend tops, 100%. I'm going to do a live. I've done a bunch of videos and reviews on them already. You can check out my channel and you'll see that. But I will do a lot of videos, and one specifically live stream, just throwing my tops knives, doing trick shots with them. They throw almost better than some of my throwers, and that's pretty cool to say. Because they're a real deal knife. Just because you can throw 2 knives at once very well doesn't mean you should, and you never should do that in combat. Never throw 2 weapons away at once. I missed one, and one stayed in.
Okay, so someone asked about that same dagger Greener brought up. They said, what do you think about the Benchmade dagger for carry?
Benchmade is a very good company. They're steel. They come razor sharp. I'm a fan of Benchmade. I just don't own a lot. They're very pricey, but I definitely know about them. I've looked into Benchmade knives. Maybe not that one specifically, but I think if I saw it, I would know. I wouldn't throw that. That doesn't look good for throwing.
And not for everyday carry.
For everyday carry, when it comes to, because this is the type of knife I would carry with a circle on the end, a spinner, a carry-on bit. I love this for my pocket. But those, don't put your finger in those holes. That's not how you hold them. That confuses a lot of people. They think they got to put their thumb, their fingers are in it somehow, some way. That's not how you hold that knife. That just gives you a little bit better of a grip. You could probably use that to, hit somebody with. But this would be my favorite hand-to-hand combat knife, the carry-on bit. Carry-on bits are not meant for stabbing. They're folders. Folders will fold if you try to stab them. The locking mechanism can fail and it will cut your fingers off. This is meant for slashing, like a bear, keeping my enemy away from me and just slashing them. And I can do that all day long and keep them at a distance and back up however I want. That's why I love this knife. It's very effective. It's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex nail. That's deadly.
Why does steel from... Oh, this thing just disappeared. Why does steel from other companies matter? Isn't steel just steel?
There's a lot of different types of steel. Some steel is hardened and tempered differently. Some are, they can bend more. They're flexible. They won't snap and break. So a lot of throwing knives are in the middle of being hard enough to handle a miss, handle hitting each other so you don't get a lot of burrs. And some other knives aren't meant for throwing. Other knives will hit and snap really easy. So having the balance is very important for knife throwing. When it comes to another knife, certain knives will be softer so you can easily sharpen them when you're in the field. Other knives are harder to sharpen, and you have to put a little bit more time in them with proper sharpening tools to get that razor sharp edge. So if you're in the military, if you're out in the bush, you want a soft blade where you can sharpen it very easily. And that's going to help you be a minimalist. So you don't have to carry so much stuff on you around with you. So steel is so different. Spring steel, tool steel. There's so many numbers, 5560. There's so many, stainless steel. You name it. You can look at them all and understand the hardening, the tempering, what they're good for and what they're not good for. There's definitely it definitely matters what type of steel, especially for throwing knives. That's why custom makers have nailed it. When you get a knife that is made by a custom knife maker for throwing knives, they have mastered it. My sponsor, Nobody Knife Works, mastered it. Lewis Prince Steel Knives, mastered it. Joshua Shugart of Shugard's Custom Knives, mastered it. A lot of people out there have done a really well job. Good job. You can even use rebarb for throwing knives. Like, you just got to know how to harden and temper your steel.
Okay, so this one is from Larry. First, I'll start with thank you for your service, Larry.
Appreciate you, Larry.
So Larry is a U.S. Canadian Armed Force vet. He says, I am new. What is a good knife, in your opinion, for me who has a bad hip and can't put much weight on my right side? I'm right-handed with knives, but left-handed with guns.
Now, you're wanting to use your knife for what? Are you wanting to get into throwing, or are you just wanting it to be on you because you want to have something for self-defense, opening boxes? I mean, having a knife on you is like a tool. It's an extension of your body. But are you wanting, just answer me if it's about throwing or just having a knife on you that's well balanced for who you are and how you want to feel comfortable. I want to give you the best answers possible and best information. So I just ask some questions sometimes to get that information.
What would you prefer, a pocket knife or like a regular knife?
I would prefer a regular knife, but I'm carrying around a pocket knife and a regular knife all the time. Knife throwers think differently. For a country like me, again, without a firearm allowed, I've carried multiple knives on me, and a pocket knife is always on me, and a belt knife is always on me. Several belt knives. I'm not a fan of neck knives, and I'm not a fan too much of any other knives strapped to my arms or body. Maybe a boot knife I can get along with, because it's an area you might be able to only reach in certain situations. If you're mounded, if you're covered by somebody, you might be only able to reach your leg, and I think I can get on board with a boot knife.
So Larry says it would be either for self-defense and hunting.
And hunting. Oh, there's some good tops knives out there. I would recommend any top knife. There's certain ones like the Tahoe, very good belly for hunting, skinning, self-defense. It's like an all-round knife. But any Tops knives, man, I can't recommend that one enough. And if you're in the States, Tops knives, if you're a military veteran, you can find a knife. All the knives by Tops are designed by military veterans, veterans in the police force. And you can see the story and why they were made and how they were made and what use you're going to get out of them, and all the descriptions on the Tops website. But I would definitely recommend a few Tops knives for you, especially because you're looking into a hunting self-defense. They have the best steel, super sharp, super durable. You're going to get, it's a little, maybe not, and even the price point on what you're getting is actually very competitive. So look at some Tops knives. I have a lot of Tops knives that are more for combat, but I'm also in the hunt for a hunting knife. See right in there? But I would like to get a hunting knife as well. And I have done the research. There's some good ones that even the sheath comes with a ferro rod, and the knife is designed so you can strike your ferro rod on it. Super good ones. I believe it's the BOB by Tops, the field knife. Brothers of Brothers, something like that. The BOB stands for. That's one I would recommend. awesome, comfortable, lightweight, durable. If you need any extra help, where I can direct you, like you want to find the website and you're having a hard time, just email me, brother. Larry, I'm here for you. Anything you need.
So he lives in Texas. Tops probably does global
Yes,
shipping.
they do global, but Tops is a U.S. company, so you're going to be able to get that U.S. free shipping. Those are bullets right there.
He says thank you.
Thank you for your service, man. Much respect. I have a soft spot for any military veterans. All right, 2 at once again. I don't know if you guys caught the 2 I did throw, like a bullet. But just because you can throw 2, don't let anyone convince you to throw 2 knives at once. No, don't let them do that. Don't let them do that. The only weapon that I would shoot 2 things at once would be a shotgun. All right, we're gonna do some drills. My wife is gonna help me with the next drill. I'll let her get through the comments. Oh, this literally just got out of it. Did you put this in front of me? Thank you everybody for stopping by. Appreciate everybody. We're gonna do some new things coming up. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button or don't. I don't care.
Colton says you can't conceal carry in Canada though.
There's some laws in different provinces for it. You're pretty sure most provinces you have to have it locked in your car. You're gonna have to have a specific license, but for the most part, it's locked up in your car for hunting.
Yeah, gun case.
Yeah, your gun case locked up all the time in your car, at home, locked up. Ammo separate lock for that. It's very strict here for it. So yes, you can have, I have a crossbow, which is a deadly weapon. I got a lot of things, and I've trained even my daughters and my wife at the range, a shooting range. So we all know how to shoot weapons. I'm in the verge of getting my license, so I can at least have something at home defense. But for me, it would be for hunting purposes as well. A lot of the self-defense that I talk about and I preach about on my channel is for being out in the bush as well. Sometimes, like I always say to people, animals with rabies they approach you easier, and you don't want to touch an animal with rabies. So I would be able to throw a knife and protect myself. And it's a true story out there that a massive rat was attacking a guy's grandma. They both got out of the car and this rat came out and he threw his knife at it and he killed it. So sometimes that's what you got to do. Don't shoot it. You're gonna make a loud noise. You don't have your gun on you. Whatever the case may be, like I said, in Canada here, I'm gonna have knives on me. And it's a proven fact that animals will attack, and sometimes you just got to scare them away. And if they don't get scared away, you got to do something about it, right?
Could you survive a bear attack with a knife?
If God wanted me to, I would. God, anything is possible, but I wouldn't want to get myself in that situation. For bears, I have fireworks when I'm out in the bush. I bring fireworks out with me to scare them off. I have, bear mace. Anything I can do to scare away a bear, I would. I have an ATV usually with me. I'd get on that thing and I'd boogie out of there. But if I got in the worst situation and it was charging me, I would throw knives as much as I could at it. I can climb a tree and throw knives at it, right? Like, at least got options with throwing weapons. I would rather be in a self-defense situation more trained with a weapon than not, to give myself a better percentage, a higher percentage of survival. No one can argue that. That's a fact. So throwing a knife on top of being able to use a knife is better. Especially when you can throw it like that 9 times out of 10.
Ronnie is back to work, so he said he
brother.
will hopefully see you if you're still streaming when he gets home.
You got it, brother. I'm on probably for another few hours. I haven't even gotten to the drills, the trick shots. We're gonna have some fun today.
Why do you have an Israel flag?
I'm a Christian. Romans 15, Psalms 122. I support Israel. I stand behind them. I might not agree with everything they do, but that goes for pretty much anybody in the world. I don't agree with everything anyone does. But I'm going to stand behind them, especially in a world that's divided against them. A lot of media is, all I can say about it is the media is used as a weapon. It's not on our side anymore, and it's not delivering us the truth. It's taking things out of context, and it's distorting the truth to get us to divide against one another. And a lot of these wars, the media is used as a weapon to make you go against Israel. Because the truth that I believe in is a God, the God of the Bible. And everything this world shows me is an attack against him, which makes sense. Evil doesn't worry about a lie. A lie is already serving its purpose. But what evil will worry about is the truth, and it attacks it all the time, no matter what time in history. That's why the Jews are always attacked. They're the most persecuted people ever in history. Beyond the Jewish revolt in 72 AD to the Holocaust today, people are very brainwashed to hate them. They don't have a reason to defend it. All they see is what the media is lying about and taking out of context, because the people they're fighting, they choose to kill their children and strap bombs to them and blow them up and use women and children as shields, put their ammo depots in hospitals and homes that are, they use their people to get the world to side with them. That's their strategies in war. Immoral, evil people. The lengths in which they'll go in war, it's horrible. Look at the movie American Sniper, how hard it was for him to make the decision not to shoot the kid, because the reality over there is much different than the reality over here. Way different. And Israel is the most free country out there in the Middle East. They are surrounded by enemies.
Stealth FX is on. He says, I am from Jerusalem, Israel.
Much respect, brother. Like I said, that whole spiel there, I don't care who goes against me. I just don't care. I am a man of the God of the Bible. I serve Jesus Christ. He was a Jew. He came for you, the Jews first, and then the Gentiles. I'm a Gentile, and I owe it all to you. I was grafted into the olive tree because you guys were grafted out. And now that the Messiah will come, the end will come, you will get your own olive tree back. It's impossible for God to lie. That is the hope we have, the promises he's made. Oh, these are all bullets. They're perfectly in there. All thrown at different times. My target is made out of ash wood. They make baseball bats out of ash wood. It's a hard target. Woo! Okay, babe, go.
Alina's back on. She says, hi. I was on a bad day and I saw you guys and my mood raised.
Ah, nice to see you. Anita?
Alina,
good to see you here.
She's returning.
I'm glad we brought your mood back up. And when I hear those comments, you brought our mood back up. So thank you. This is how I stand when I really want to zoom in, get focused in, dialed in.
Donald Rankin says, have a great weekend, dude. Stay safe and have fun.
Thank you, brother. You too. You enjoy your weekend. Thank you for stopping by. I don't want to sound cliche, but anybody that's going to say it, I appreciate it. Thank you for commenting. I'm a bit of a loner. I don't have many friends. I don't hang out with many people. I'm here throwing knives and training all the time. That's what I do. I got 3 girls, and I protect them the best I can. And all the people that are coming on, chatting with me, you do a lot for my mental state, I'll tell you that. And I'm trying to do the same. Give back to you while you guys give to me.
Does Canada have restrictions on butterfly knives and switchblades?
Yes, Canada sucks. Canada doesn't allow throwing cards, ninja stars, any spring-loaded knife, butterfly knives. Yeah, Canada is very strict. It's not a country I'm super proud of nowadays. Maybe one time I was, but not anymore. They're turning into just a different country that I grew up in. Sad, but a lot of changes. A lot of people are too focused on stupid stuff. They're not focused on our country is unlike any in history. The States and Canada are very similar in the freedoms we gave the people so that we can choose our own government. That's not a historical thing. Thousands and thousands of years went by. This has never happened. And just in the past, 500 years, we've had countries established like that because we learned in history of the mistakes we made and we tried to correct it in our government, in our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, right? And people want to destroy it. They want to take away our freedoms because they're just deceived. They're just straight up lied to and deceived to use their own freedoms against themselves. Bullseyes. I love a bullseye when you just throw. Just throw, bullseye. Oh, I love it. Oh.
Donald says I dare you to try that blindfolded.
Oh, I've done it. I spun around blindfolded with 9 knives. So I stood here blindfolded and I spun around and I threw. You can check my channel out. Tons of videos. More and more and more will come. Oh man, I'm just getting started. But I've done a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, maybe more than anybody. A lot of the people out there have done a lot. I've done everything they did plus more. And the things that I did, I mean, God bless me, they can't do them. A lot of the stuff requires a lot of power and agility. I've done it. I've done it all. I'm very good on my feet. I've been an athlete my whole life, playing sports, very competitive sports, and now I've just put it all into throwing. I put everything I've learned over my life into throwing, and it all has made me a good thrower. Not like anybody can't. Other people that aren't athletic might have to just work a little harder. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm here to help you if you want to get into be a good thrower. Body mechanics have been mastered and passed down now. And through sports, we can see the body mechanics that produce the most accurate, best velocity. And that baseball is a very good place to look because those pitchers have to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and the way they do it is very similar to the way I throw a knife. I just modified it a little bit more to make it an easier to deploy knife, faster, and I just modified the way I hold the knife, obviously, because it's not a ball. But I want to be able to throw a lot quicker. And being able to like back up with your leg, that's a power move. But generally, I don't have to do that to get a lot of power. I do a quick energy transfer, and I'm usually loading my hips. So when I throw, the energy transfer and my hips all work in sync. So when I throw, that's the most power, using that energy. People who just use their hips, lots of power. But if you can rock quick, you'll just get more power that way. And muscle matters. Forearm strength matters. Strong rotator cuff matters. Tendons, the ligaments, training all those things is huge. I'm an arm wrestler who doesn't arm wrestle a lot, so I don't hurt my arm in arm wrestling, and I save it all for throwing. But I train arm wrestling. I train like Devin Moran. I look at the best arm wrestlers in the world and I incorporate all their exercises into my daily routine. And I consider all the conditioning too, the therapy required so that when I use my arm, I can continue using it as long as I can and keep it healthy. I take it very seriously. Everything I do, I take very seriously. Everything I do. Just ask my wife. She's like, it's crazy sometimes how much thinking I put into something so simple. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves.
Froggy VR's on. He says,
Hey.
hey Josh, how are you?
That's Chan Man, the Chan boss. How you doing, buddy? All right, we're gonna pin a can just to start things off, and then I'm gonna get into some cool drills. No one does this. I'm trying to come up with a method, almost my own martial art towards knife throwing. Again, many years to be able to consider the approach I'm taking on it. But some of these drills, you might look silly to you, but I'm trying to work on a lot of things in them. Footwork, agility, balance, speed. Some of the drills all require that, and they require your brain to train very fast, very quick decisions, because that's what martial arts is. That's what self-defense is. Getting you to make a very fast decision, reading as much as you can in the shortest time to get the better outcome. You might not be right, but at least you're trained to get a higher percentage of survival. That's the whole point to martial arts. And that's what I'm going to bring into knife throwing. A knife throwing martial arts. But we're going to pin a can. Hitting a moving target is so good at training accuracy And because most of the time, if you're throwing your knife at someone or something, an animal, it's moving. So being able to address the moving target and get the timing all lined up, the accuracy is very important. So hitting a moving target, hitting a can when you throw it, it's called the can trick. Jason Johnson, pro knife thrower, check him out. Awesome guy, good at combat, talking about it. And he came up with this trick. He was the first one. I call it a skill shot now because it's just a training drill. But I usually put a little bit of weight in my can. And I'll switch it because I've already put a little bit of weight in these.
Chandler said you got this.
This is just a drill, and I see where I'm at in the day. I like pinning a can every day, and I have episodes coming up where I pin a can every day for a whole year. But I got to get into a posting where I'm not going to be deployed to do that. I got next week and I leave for a whole month, and then I got another month and a half, and I'm leaving again for 3 months. So I just can't do that until I get into a posting, which I will probably next, where I can chill every day. I'll be at home and have a 9-to-5 job because I'm getting over 20 years of service. And I'm getting, at a young age still, I'm getting pretty tired, and I do want to slow down a bit on my deployments. Here we go, the can trick.
Do you work with knives for a living or just a hobby?
Yeah, I'm in the military, so it's a hobby, but I mean, I have to have a knife on me at work. It's a requirement. In the Navy, on ship, you have to have a knife on you. So, yeah, it's a hobby, but I also have to have knives on me for my job. Anybody in the military should have a knife on them. And when you go to war, even if you have grenades and all these weapons on you, one of them is going to be a knife. Ooh, both times I hit it, that's always like a bonus when I can hit it. If I'm close by the can, positive.
Rylan is back. He says, hey man, you remember me?
Rylan, I got to see how the name's spelled. I think so, man. Rylan Rivera. Of course I do, man. Thank you for your service. Brother, always good to see people, returning people. I do have a lot of different names I've been trying to keep up with the best I can. But I just got to jog my memory, and I should remember you guys. We will soon be writing everyone's names on the board according to what's going to happen between our relationship. Your name's going to be put up there.
Does Canadian military train in Krav Maga? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Certain martial arts are specific to certain trades. They're open to any martial arts in the military. We can do anything really. There's really from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing. What did I do? I do Aikido, kickboxing, boxing. There's everything in the military. So it depends on where you are and what's offered to you. Certain bases, too, across Canada will offer certain things than others won't. But I'm sure that one is. I just haven't heard about that one specifically. All right, this is number 5. Oh. Usually I got it quicker, but again, I'm so close to getting it every time. Like that one just landed on the knife. So I had it lined up. Ooh. Was that 7? Oh my goodness, I can't get over 10. That's not me. Here we go. Oh, bullet.
Boom.
Boom! Celebration chair! We got a new one in the house! Ooh!
Chandler says, woo! Let's go!
Let's go, buddy! I like having something when I get all pumped up, I can throw. So that's what that is. That's my celebration chair. The chair just hit me here. Is this like...
You're right.
I'm okay? Sometimes I'll
Chandler
bleed.
just went, boom, yeah.
And I don't realize I'll bleed. But that's hitting a moving target. And if I get it within 10, that's normal. So I like seeing where I'm at. A little off today, but that's okay. I think it's because I threw so much before I even pinned the can. For the most part, I go with that very quick.
Alina says, my grandfather used to be in the Japanese military in the past.
Wow, much respect. Shout out to you in the chat.
She just went bullseye.
Who's that right there? Alina.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember her. I remember her now. Awesome. Wow. Much respect. That's all. Sometimes I'm short for words because the type of what you open up to me about hits me hard. So that's really hard to hear, but at the same time, very cool. He did something that's so meaningful, and his story is being passed on, and I think that's huge. That's huge. Awesome. All right, we're having a good time. Okay, we're gonna do one of my drills. I do gotta move this away. Now this drill might be a little harder for some people to visualize in what's going on. So my camera, I might be a little bit in and out. It requires a lot of body work, a lot of footwork. Very fast requirement is needed here. So you gotta be fast. You gotta be good on your feet. You get yourself a balloon. It could be silly to some people, but what we're doing here is working fast. We're gonna kick this balloon in the air, and we're gonna throw a knife, and we're gonna try and keep this from touching the ground and throw a knife. The way I like to do it is I'm only allowed to touch this once. So my attention is going down to the balloon, and then I have to go to the target, and I gotta throw my knife before this hits the ground. And I can't have a bad hit and then hit it again so I'm all good. I have to be able to throw that knife with one touch of the balloon. So if I can get 2 knives out before I get down, even better. I try to push myself and get 6 knives deployed while keeping the balloon in the air. My footwork, it's gonna throw me off. How I have to get the balloon. You might see me jumping out of camera. I'll try to keep it within the camera as best as possible. A balloon isn't perfectly circular, so where I hit it, it will get thrown around. But I'll do the best I can, and I'll demonstrate what it should look like. I don't do this often, but I do this. And it's one of the drills I wanted to show you because I do a lot of weird stuff, but I think the more you can incorporate, the better. And this one, again, is great for footwork and great for speed. You want to be accurate in everything. You want to be able to throw the way you normally do, but you're going to be thrown off. You know, and you never know what type of situation you're going to be running, jumping. You know, this is just going to allow you to be a little bit better on your feet while you throw. So here we go. We'll start off. I like to keep it around 3 meters, but sometimes you're going to be going close. So this is also going to work on your distance. You're not going to be throwing at the same spot. Your instinctive throwing is going to go up here. Wherever you're going to throw, you got to make a quick decision to throw and get it stuck. I'm not allowed to miss. That also is a bonus for this drill. So here we go. So you kick it up. I might have to throw under the balloon. Kick it up. It's hard. I might have been out of the camera there. I got 2. But it's hard. The way the balloon wants to be kicked can come at you, and you got to go underneath it. It's a weird drill. It's not easy, but it's definitely rewarding. Sometimes you just got to get out of the way of the balloon. So again, I'm kind of programming my mind right now I'm learning as I miss, right? Making a mistake, you can't call it a mistake if you're learning from it. It's a crazy drill, I gotta tell you. More training, the better. The more time you put into anything is the better.
Chandler says, oh, this is new. You got this.
There we go. There's one round. Having your mind on several things at once is super good training for the mind. It's not a muscle, but it's very powerful, and you can still train it like a muscle. Repetition, being consistent, Having your mind think about kicking a ball at the same time as throwing. All these things, all these variables that are involved in a drill like this is super, again, rewarding. Gets the heart rate going, moving around, burning calories. It's healthy. It's just good for you. Get yourself moving more.
Leo says, I low-key want to learn knife throwing now.
Oh, I got it! There's 2! Boom! 2 in a row. Good grouping, too. Good grouping. Oh, good power, too. Oh. I say the hardest exercise in working out sometimes is pulling my knives out. So that's awesome drill right there. I'll do it again. Some of these things look silly to some people, but again, give it a try. If you think it's funny, try it.
Leo wants to know why can't I super chat?
I don't have it hooked up. I do this for free. Oh, that was a sick one. 3 in a row.
Chandler literally just said go for 3 in a row and you just finished it.
There it is.
Here you go, Chandler.
I got a lot of bullseyes in that one too. So again, very effective, good drill. I've done trick shots with soccer balls. I've juggled through a can. I juggled cans and then through the can, quick drawed a knife and pinned it. Like I've done a soccer ball, I've cut it in the air, through the can, drove the knife and pinned it. Some crazy things that are very good for footwork, speed, quick decisions. All this, like again, there's so much I'm probably missing on what you're getting out of that type of drill.
Chili Mike says, that is cool. Get you out of your comfort zone and deal with random positioning, distractions, and footwork. I'll have to try this later.
Man, like combat drills for knife throwing is gonna look bizarre to some people, but it's because it's not, there's not a lot of information out there. It's super new, if anything. Even though it's not. Throwing has been historically, the first thing we probably ever did was use a rock, right? 116 likes. You guys rock. We're going to be on for a while here. Noel Denzel? Who? Denzel? Who's that? You have to Google that. Google that. Oh, I like that drill. That turned out really good. So another thing I like to eat is sushi.
You look like this guy, apparently.
Oh, the wife's gonna like that one probably. I like sushi. Right here I have the red dragon roll. So I got smoked steelhead salmon, a mixture of the California mix, which I believe is crab and lobster, and it has some cucumber. It's delicious. So health is a huge thing. If you want to be good at self-defense, you got to be concerned about what you're eating, how you're sleeping, and of course your exercise, your strength, your conditioning, your therapy, not just the action of which martial arts you're participating in. Everything in the background is gonna elevate you and make you better, or gonna make you worse. The stuff you eat is so important. So what you're drinking, what you're eating, what you're doing throughout your day. Everything. Again, I obsess over everything. And I think taking things that you do every day seriously is super important. You do them every day. So take it very seriously. From brushing your teeth to showering, eating, drinking.
Chandler says that sounds really good.
It's one of my favorite sushis. Like.
So Barry says, I was in the Army and the Air Force has it easy.
Yeah, they do.
We're always sitting in chairs, but now I'm retired and fishing.
Chair Force. The Air Force is
Chair Force.
Not the military. I've said it more times lately because I've been Army, Air Force, and Navy. Now that I'm working for the Navy last, I have finalized my decision that the Air Force, you're right, has it the easiest, and that they're so far beyond the Army and the Navy. They are not, they're the Chair Force. They're separated from the military. I think Pilots have an ego. You know, they're pilots. They're the best in the Air Force. They do the coolest stuff sometimes. They're awesome. Got to give it to them. Those people that are controlling the plane, the people in the weapon systems, the avionics, the aviations, you know, technicians, the pilots, the traffic controllers, you know, give it to them. But a lot of the Air Force trades, it's just a different realm. I don't do well in the Air Force. I do well in the Navy and the Army. Usually when I'm deployed outside of my trade, which is more Air Force at the beginning, now my trade is Element Pacific, and I've been directed towards being the Army. I'm the highest ranking Army Med Tech, because not many people fit in the Army coming from Air Force trades. They just don't, and they don't even want to. They just don't, yeah. Much respect to the Navy, now that I've been working with them. They're the most operational and most deployed.
All the
and
time.
Of course the Army's another second right next to them. But the Air Force is, the pilots are worried about getting to where they gotta go so that they can get back in one day. But some of those helicopter pilots and what they gotta go into to rescue people, like, I am not diminishing some of them. What they gotta do is incredible and important. Again, we are a working machine, and every part matters to make that machine function properly. You lose one part, and it might just fall apart. Everything. Hope you guys like that balloon drill. That's serious.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that were liking it there.
You get 3 knives at once, add 2 balloons, right? How crazy can you get? If anybody tries this and makes a video, please tag me in it. Oh boy. And let me see your drills. I would love to see other people doing some of the things that I'm showing, and tagging me in it so I can see that. All right, one more sushi because that was so good. Smoked steelhead salmon, unreal.
Eilina says, "Yay, sushi!" Sai, can you come and sit down and don't hit the table?
I've been a pyrotechnic when it came to, yeah, stop hitting the table. Sorry. A pyrotechnic when it came to knives. I've thrown knives and blown things up. You know, I have the most destructive video out there when it comes to a competition where you had to use your knife to destroy something. I built a mini birdhouse with explosives inside, and when I went into the hole where the birds go in, I hit a bullseye, and I ignited a can that with a candle inside, and it blew up, and fireworks. It just was so cool.
Yeah,
But there's definitely some things you can do that looks like magic. Like, you can light a match. You hit the end of the match with your knife, and you can light it. There's some cool things you can do with a knife. I'm in the Canadian Army. That's why this shirt was bought at the a store on a military base, a Canex, and yeah, it's legit for the military. I can wear this in combats, underneath my combats if I wanted. I'm in the Navy though, so I don't wear combats right now, but I will after this posting. All right, let's get another can pin, and then I'll get back into the next drill. This drill requires you to have help from someone else. My wife's here, the moderator, my smoking hot wife, and she's gonna help me with this drill. You can't really do it on your own. You're gonna need somebody to do it with you. And that's the thing when it comes to any martial arts. If you have somebody that can demo, put you in a scenario of a knife attack and you gotta react, and you can do these drills over and over again with somebody pressuring you, putting you into a more practical, realistic scenario, that's the ultimate goal. I'm gonna ask a few friends at work, one of the medics that's a really good friend of mine, to come over and just help me make some videos about some of the drills that I've thought of that can be very good for a knife thrower. But that's something very important. You can't really complete you're training alone. You need assistance, whether it's from the drill I'm going to show you or for just getting a more realistic scenario, and then your training can be applied. And then you can make your adjustments on what you need to do because you're learning. You're making mistakes. You know what's working. You know what's not working. And you can just keep repeating those drills, right? Until you're turning your training into instinct. So when a scenario like that happens, you don't have to think about it. You can just react. Here we go. Moving target can trick. Half this challenge is getting the can to the target. Sometimes you can hit the can in the air and bring it to the target. And that's like something I had to do there. It's hard to see with the camera being this way. If it was on the side, you would see my target's here and my can goes low. Just the way it is sometimes. Right there. Hit the can in the air and it kind of shot it off. And I know I did because the can's all messed up and it's got a line of my knife going right through it. And hit it again. But that's good. That's what I want to do. I want to hit my can. The can is small. Whatever object you're aiming for is going to be much bigger than a can.
Your friend Martello is on.
Hey, Martello in the house!
Got a new chair?
Yes, we do have a new chair. Oh, let me bring that out. Thank you. Can you guys read my sign from up there? Anyone, you all can see that?
Yes.
Martello, I saw that you visited the Full Tank clan, and he said that I sent you over there. So much respect for saying that. That's pretty cool. Hope you liked his channel as well. We both offer different things, and the more you can get, the better.
Kevin McGee says hello.
Kevin, welcome to the channel. Every new name, definitely going to get a shout out. If you're chatting with me, that's awesome. It's awesome to see. All right, here we go. Can trick in the house. Weatherman, Coolest Weatherman Productions. Oh, I think I just got to move back. I try to stay within that 10 feet, but let's bring it back a bit.
I like your license plate, but it's got a little glare in the...
It is. The light kind of shines on it. I can probably move the light down. I got my knife throwing drive license plate up there.
Eilena says that she's going to need something like that chair for when she graduates med school.
And just smash it. All your notes, just burn them in a fire. But no, you want to save that and look back in case you need to have, jog your memory on something. But a celebration chair, yeah, that'd be perfect, right? Graduate, bring it to school with you. People are like, what is that? As soon as they give you your certificate, you just smash it in front of everybody. You go, woo! See, that was such a taxi ride.
Yeah.
I brought that right to the target, but it bounced off. That's just the way it's gonna happen sometimes.
I've typed this so many times, so I'm just going to say it. Kevin, yes, he's actively serving in the Canadian Armed Forces for 20 years now.
It's okay to answer the same question over. We're gonna have new people, so those people that have been around and are
My
hearing the
phone's
same
just about
answer,
to die.
it's okay. What kind of charger do you need?
I could use my iPad.
Is it this one? This is a different one than that one.
No, I mean, like, actually give me my iPad.
Well, I'm just talking about charger. I like looking too, but here, take it.
I love it.
You can charge your iPad there too. All right, can trick. Here we go. We hit that can. We pinned the can almost. We're gonna get it though. Oh, right in the bullseye! 2 in a row. What up? Bullseye bonus. Bullseye bonus. Bullseye. Ooh 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 ooh. Ooh yeah. Ooh, look how good that was. Look how fast that was. Hopefully that will hold up. I went driving around the neighborhood to look for some chairs that people might have been throwing out on garbage day. Nobody. So this is my last chair that I have that I'll smash, but I gotta find some stuff or build my own. That was awesome camping though. Did you see that?
Yes. Jinfin says yes. Rylan says great job. Eilena says first try.
Wow.
She might have just. Oh,
It went through the exact same hole,
Spot.
and I did that back to back.
that's
So I
cool.
hit it. There's only one hole, like entry and exit wound. I hit that in the exact same spot 2 times in a row. That's really cool. Stuff that happens in your campings can definitely, like, it's so satisfying. If you're into knife throwing or you get into knife throwing, you eventually want to get yourself to pinning a can. Oh, this will almost be 3 in a row if I get this one here.
Okay, so there's a couple questions.
Oh.
Martello says yeah, he was cool. Kevin McGee says your knife wall is crazy.
Thank you, man. Thank
This
you, Kevin.
name is in a different language, but he says, can you catch a cap?
Catch a cap.
Your cap.
Oh yeah, I could do that for you. I'll catch this cap for you. I've done this a few times on the live before. And the cap I like to use is my dad hat, my lightning bolt dad hat. Yeah, these are dad ball caps. That's what they call them. We'll catch this for you.
Kevin wants to know how many knives you got.
Oh, I'm probably closer to 200, and I might be over 200. I am definitely over 200 if you include my butter knives and my steak cutting knives. Definitely over 200. I've won a lot of online competitions. I can't get to any live competitions, but I've done competitions live over online. I've done many competitions online. I pretty much dominated them all, and I won a lot of money and money towards products that the companies were holding the competitions. So I got a lot of knives because of that, or otherwise I probably wouldn't have so many. I've also given away a lot of knives on my channel, and will continue to. So if I didn't give away so many knives, I would probably have so many more. I have more inside. That's just out here. I have a lot of knives I probably won't throw. I've thrown once and they're too good, and I've left them inside. Like, they're made out of gold and silver and Damascus steel. They stay inside. All right, we're doing the hat trick, back to back with the can trick, and this is for
His name is in a different language.
different language. I'm sorry that I can't pronounce your
He
name.
wants you to, he's saying no, the one on your head.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping this on. I'm keeping this hat on. This is my favorite hat. Oh, I almost got it right away.
No, his tattoos are not fake. Kevin says my son has been thinking about knife throwing. Any tips?
What kind? Well, it depends on what type of knife you're throwing. But my sponsor's actually making Pacific knives potentially for kids. One of my recent giveaways was a child with a kid, and knives are going to be specifically made for children for him. So that's probably going to be an easier to hold, lighter knife. Lighter knives are harder on the ricochet, so I would probably say the target's super important, just
He's
as much as the
16.
knife.
He's 16.
Oh, at 16, you should be good to
He's a
go
young man.
with any knife. If he wants to throw rotation versus no spin, I throw my knife without a spin. It just flies out my hand and goes straight. And depending on where he wants to go, that's going to be very important to get what knife. The knife is very different. Rotational knives aren't at all the same as no spin knives. So what's your son? Does he want to get into no spin throwing or full spin, half spin? Normally half spin and no spin, the knives can be very similar, but if you're a full spin thrower, you're going to want a longer and heavier knife, and a no spin knife is going to be smaller and most likely lighter, but you can get a heavy no spin knife too. Depends on the thickness, but I would recommend anyone starting off, let me know what type of throwing you want to go, what route, because that's going to matter. You don't want to pick up bad habits and get a stupid knife that's just not going to work for the style you're going for, and that will produce bad habits, and you'll just slow down your learning. Normally this one's pretty easy. Oh, but the knife is so deep in there. Oh, the penetration. I always go for a deep penetration.
So he's going full spin. But Arlena says she's unfortunately got to go. It's good to see you. I hope and wish you all good things. I can on to you. I wish you two will have healthy, good future, at peace with your children. Take care, you two. Sorry if I said something wrong. I'm new to English.
Awesome English. You did a great job there. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the kind words. God bless you. Much blessings to you as well. Thanks for stopping by. That was pretty sweet to have you here. So these are rotational throwers. I won't throw these because they're made by the late great Bill Page. I've thrown them a few times, but see how much longer these knives are compared to no spin knives? No spin knives are going to be handle heavy, front heavy, or center balanced. For the most part, rotational knives are center balanced. And you're going to have that like thicker center. You're going to have something that's going to rotate in the center here to help the rotation, but they're longer and you want to have a good grip, right? So full spin knives, you can hold them like a handshake to slow the rotation down on the spine. You can throw your in much different, weirder, not as common to do that. You can turn it sideways and throw it rotational this way. I would recommend it like this. And up close, you'll be further down the knife when you throw it, and as you move back, you'll grip it upwards. You can also, at 3 meters, you'll hold it like by the handle. 4 meters, you'll flip it. 5 meters, you'll flip it. This is all based on the rotation. 1.5 at 4 meters, 2 full rotations at 5 meters, 2.5 rotations at 6 meters, and then 3 rotation at 7 meters. So understanding how the rotation works is super important for rotational throwing. So if you're throwing your knife and it's landing like this, that means it's over too much rotation. And that can mean you got to step closer or grip your knife a little bit lower down the knife. You can do either one, step closer or just put your hand down a little bit and throw the same exact way, and you might get the stick perfectly in there. If you stick your knife and it's like this, that's under rotated. And you can step a little bit further back, or you can grip your knife a little bit higher. Also between those two, over rotated or under rotated, if you put your thumb on it, that could be enough. And you can have the same grip, just put your thumb on there. That allows the knife to slide out your hand, and that will slow the rotation as your thumb kind of brushes the spine as it falls and slides out of your hand, gets thrown out of your hand. So rotational throwing is much easier. No spin throwing is harder. And just throw it. If you have a rock, a ball, throw it. That's how your body mechanics should be for throwing. Now there's some people out there that help you get more accurate, and they'll throw like this rotationally. They'll place their knife in their hand, they'll get in line with the target, they'll cock, and they'll throw. And they do this every time. If you can set up a stance that's very consistent, very comfortable, you're going to be better overall. If you're doing different movements, I do this for no spin because I like to be agile on my feet. But for competition, for throwing and getting good, you might want to start off with a stance, something like this. So you can get in line. I'm at 3 meters. I kind of know exactly where to hold it. Get in line. And it's kind of over-rotated there. So what I can do is just grip a little higher up on the knife. Same spot, same throw. I just gripped up a little bit higher. Perfect bullseye. Perfectly not over-rotated, not over-rotated or under-rotated. Now, I'm not a no-spin thrower, a full spin rotational thrower, but I do well. If I put all my time into throwing rotationally, I'd be just as good as I am right now, no spin way. Accuracy is just very good to me in the sports I played overall. But that's generally the hype of rotation. Either way you go, the amount of time you put into it will get the results you're looking for. But yeah, get yourself a good no spin knife. Cold Steel, the company has, I know I'm going to talk and there's other questions, but I want to get the best answer to the person who asked the question. So be patient. I'll get to the other questions. My wife sometimes is like, oh, you're rambling on. I just want to get the best answer to the person who asked the question, especially your kid's going to get throwing. He could be a lifetime thrower. That's what I'm looking for, people to get into throwing and not quit. Cold Steel has some good knives that are not expensive. You can go on Amazon and type in Cold Steel knife throwing, and you'll get like the Pure or the Pro Flight, the Sure Flight. These are all good ones. Don't get the, I think it's called the Fontaine. That ricochets horribly. The way it's shaped like a boomerang looks cool, and that it can rotate, but that thing, if you miss, it can be super dangerous. I would get something more straight, and the more simple the design, the better it's going to be. And that's what you'll see with Cold Steel. A very simple looking knife, and they're not going to be sharp. They're just going to be pointy, and you're just going to be able to throw them, beat them up, and learn.
He says, okay, my son started wanting to do this after watching you.
Oh, that is awesome to see it. The dad came on. Yeah, I'm here to help. My email is in the description below. Anything you need, I'm here. So, free lessons. How he's doing, you can let me know. You can send me videos. Usually watching yourself is always good because you can pick stuff up that you're not picking up when you're doing it live. So making a video of yourself can definitely see maybe something that you're doing that you might not want to be doing, or catching something because you keep screwing up. You're like, what am I doing here? So that always helps. But just a lot of practice. Don't keep doing the same thing if it's not working. Always change it up if it's not working. Only crazy people do the same thing expecting different results. So change it up, find what comes natural to you, and get that stick straight. Stay patient, don't rush anything. Don't rush your distance. Get very consistent and very good up close, and take small steps back after a lot of practice up front. Ooh, I gotta throw it a little harder, a little further. I'll answer the same question over and over and over for the rest of my life because it's about getting new people, really. The ultimate goal is to get more people into knife throwing. It's awesome. It's super therapeutic. It's fun. Gets you out of trouble. And keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you healthy. Keeps you active. And it's an awesome skill to have. When you're camping and you can throw a knife at a tree in front of somebody, a dead tree, they're going to be like, whoa! And you're just going to have a cool time. I'm getting close.
Nick says you should try throwing stars or a shuriken.
I have shurikens. I have throwing cards. They are super easy. I love throwing a knife. I'm very consistent at throwing no spin. That's all I want to do for the majority of the time. 90% of the time, I'm throwing no spin to keep my skills going up and being consistent with it. But here's throwing stars. You just gotta throw them. There's nothing to it. There's just an edge all around it. Any distance you are, they're super cool and fun. They are. Here's a bow shuriken. They're like I throw no spin the same way. This is just nowadays. They're not what I carry around. If I have to throw a weapon, it's going to be my knife. And they are super hard to get out. I throw with a lot of power. And they can be definitely challenging to get out because there's blades all around these. They're sharp everywhere. But yeah, they're cool, man. Once you get into throwing knives, you'll want to throw everything. I have shock crams, tomahawks. I have all different throwing weapons. They're super fun.
Are there any tomahawk brands you would recommend?
Tomahawk brands. You can get some, I think some that are made by Cold Steel. You'd have to look or modify them when you do get them. But Lewis Prince, like Prince Steel Knives, is probably the best knife maker out there right now. Close behind, Nobody's Knife Works is really climbing, pushing his skills. But I think the best tomahawks I've ever seen are by Prince Steel Knives. You have to, I think you just type that in Google and a website will come up, or you can reach out to me and I can put you in direct contact of Lewis Prince through a few connections that I know, and you can get a custom one, or he has very cool tomahawks that he can make. Oh, that was very close. I don't want to hit my hat. I've never hit my hat. I've only caught my hat. I hope the guy that's wanted me to do this is still on.
Are you trying to throw your hat and pin
I'm
it?
trying to catch it.
Oh.
Yeah. What's Madeline up to?
She wants to stay inside and watch Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to come out here.
The hat is not making it. But I am more concerned about answering questions, so it kind of threw me off a bit, but that is okay. Thanks for the visit, man. Okay. Oh, it hit the ceiling. Once I can get outside, the weather's good. I've had a rainy summer, a rainy spring. And once I can get outside, I will. Probably a lot more in July, August, October, November. Oh, it hit up there again. I always had a ceiling in training a lot, and it just made me be more quicker with my throwing. I don't do lob throws. No one should throw like this. Unless you're in competition and you can get it to stick. Combat requires power, velocity, accuracy. You need all three. Oh, that was close. I have normally got this one very quick. I'm on point with it. Here we go. Oh, they're coming for me. Someone called the cops on me.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. A lot of people will do this trick and hit the hat and pin it. That's not doing it. You got to catch the hat.
She's too good into the video game.
Oh, she's into it.
okay.
That's okay. She's a gamer.
That's so cool.
Usually when you throw your moving target, that's half the trick. Getting good at throwing a hat, I've never really thrown it a lot. I don't throw it a lot. It's just the way it is. No excuses. Shut up and do it. Ow! Oh! Silas here?
Sure here.
Oh man. Oh. I've set up more lights, lasers. There's going to be a really cool live tomorrow. More different than you've ever seen.
If it's really cool, I
When
join you.
throwing, is it handle grab or blade grab?
You can do both. Handle grab will be a rotational throw. And the blade can be a rotation, or you can cancel the rotation. And that's what I throw. I throw without the rotation. I throw it and it kind of like my index cancels the rotation and it flies straight to the target. That's how I like to throw. That's what I focus on. Hi, Madeline.
Hi.
All right, here we go. Hat trick for Madeline. Oh, that was one of the closest, I'd say. I mean, when you can throw knives and you play around with these types of games, if you will, these tricks, it does make it more enjoyable. The funner you're gonna have it with something, the longer you're gonna do it. So make sure you're doing something that you enjoy.
Chandler says he's back. And Kevin wants to know, is that blade homemade?
No, this blade isn't. I bought a lot that have been recommended by some champions out there, but I have knives that I have made myself. A lot of designs I've made myself. Lightning bolts, really cool. I'm now just recently getting into making knives, and I don't harden or temper my steel, but I do get billets. I get cheap knives, and I design them the way I want. So I'm getting into it more. All by hand. I just have a heavy-duty sander, a vice grip, and I just grind away. It's like an art when you can really use a sander or an angle grinder very well. I mean, it's an art. If someone gets really good at that, wow, they can do anything. Oh.
How long have you been throwing?
I'm coming up on 6 years. And for probably about 4 of those years, it was like every day. I had a range outside and inside. So Canada, I have all 4 seasons of the weather. I got to train every day no matter what. And I put a lot of time, and I was very consistent. I didn't play around. I got really good at no spin throwing, and that's what I stuck to. So I'm coming up on 6 years now. I'm a no spin thrower for life. I don't think I'll get tired of it. Maybe later on in my life, maybe I'll dabble into rotation more. But I love no spin throwing. It's just I enjoy it. It's in my blood now.
So a lot of these questions are from Kevin.
Oh.
That was close. What is your longest throw?
Oh, I have like a world record for no spin throwing. I threw a cleaver at 110 feet. I no spin throw at 27 meters, and I won a competition. It was super awesome. I'm gonna leave it at that because the competition stole it from me. They gave me 26 meters, even though I posted at 27 meters. They gave it to someone else that threw at 27 meters. Blah, 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 blah. He didn't even put his submission in at the right time. It was super dumb, but I have the record. First no spin throw at 27 meters. So I have a certificate of me doing 26 meters, but I do have a video on my channel at 27 meters as well. You can check that out. Can you hear? Is everyone hearing the music? I like having a little music in the background. Just me and my family right now, Chan. One day I'll get you over here for sure, brother. I will get you over. I think what I want to do is have a whole live with you when your knives come in. So we're gonna do that.
Cool.
Just me and you, no girls. Just me and you.
Did you answer what was your longest throw?
Yeah.
Okay. Travis says, God bless. Nice scripture, brother and sister. Classic.
God bless you too, man. Number one on top.
What is your favorite knife?
I love this question. I love showing it off. It is the Sky Marshall by Pops. That's my favorite knife overall. It has everything I want. Sheath to the knife, to the grip, to what I can do with it. It's perfect. It's the fine wine to tanto tips. The best guard I've ever felt on a knife. Best grip. It has everything I want. Everything I want in this knife. Love it. No. Not what I'm doing in my life. Here. Alright, here we go. Hand trick. Hat trick. Here we go. Oh, I don't want to hit it. I don't want to hit it. I hit the roof. That's why I say you guys can bring your iPads out here. You're just going to get bored sitting here and watching me. You know, I don't want you to get bored. I want you to have fun. I'm not forcing you to sit here.
I didn't even know where my
All right.
mine's not
Here we go.
even there.
Hat trick. Hat trick. I'm getting it. This one's taking me a little bit. This one's taking me actually a little bit. That's crazy now that I think about it. Oh! But I don't give up. If you're new to my channel, I don't give up on a trick. Normally no trick takes me a long time, but the ones that do, like last live, I had to kick a can and then pin it, and that took a while, but I won't give up. I just won't. Oh. All right, I gotta get more of a lob. Perfect lob, here we go. I keep hitting that too. That's not helping. That's not helping. All right, let me check here. The wife went in just for a second to set up my kids. All right, 139 likes. 139 likes. Wow, you guys rock. Sometimes I can't believe that. Honestly, I appreciate it. If you didn't even comment, you just hit a like button. I mean, that does it for me at the end of the day. Oh, but the commenters, obviously that's more appreciated. Oh, he was on it and it swung off. Oh. See, a rotational knife is longer and it'll give you more of an edge. Like, I only have like 5-6 inches sticking out for this thing to hook on. Oh. I still love it. It's like you don't miss your knife. You know, when you do tricks like this, as long as you're not rushing it and you're taking your time between throws, you can get skill from missing. I don't find missing a problem because I'm sticking my knife every time. I'm having a good time, burning some calories. You know, it feels great. It doesn't even float the right way. I'm going to be a little harder, so that means I have to be faster. I think that's what I'll do. Oh, it landed the wrong way. Oh, right? I'll get it. I'll get it. This thing maybe
Keep
is
trying.
just...
Don't quit.
No, never. Oh. Oh. Awesome. Here we go. Oh, man. All right, more I get in my zone, quicker I'll do this. My wife will read comments and get me off track a bit, and I talked a lot, you notice? Oh. All right, here we go. Celebration chair's going down. It knows it. It knows it. It's scared.
When Chandler was here, Chandler was sitting in that.
Yeah, it's okay. You won't sit in it when it's broken, that's for
Oh
sure.
no.
Oh, that's too hard. It's got to be a floater. I can't really hit the hat. All right, here we go. You can play your video games too. Oh, that was good actually. That was a good one.
I just want to see you get the hat.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it right now actually.
Maybe.
Oh! 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 This is a surprise for me.
It landed on the ground, so it'll give you luck if it landed on the ground.
Oh, it does, eh? Well, it's giving me a lot of luck then. Oh! Hit the roof.
Maybe not.
Get out of here, roof.
Yeah, it's so big.
I don't need luck. It's just skill right now. This is skill.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting my hat. That's perfect. Right? My aim is good. I'm getting underneath the hat every time. Don't want to hit my hat. Don't want to put a hole in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really like getting the right distance of the hat. It's just that perfect distance. I got it, but it's the wrong way. But I'll take that. I'll take it.
Celebration chips.
That's a hung hat. That's a hung hat. Yeah.
It's a hanging hat. Ta-da!
Ta-da! There we go. It was on there. It was on there.
It was hanging.
All right, 2 in a row. That was it. That was a hang.
Yeah. Should I get through the hole now?
No! 2 in a row and that was the right way! What? Yeah! Perrups!
Yeah.
Bing bang boom!
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh yeah,
Celebration chair.
moments and memories made with the wife and the kids. That's it exactly, right there. That's hung.
Yeah.
That's hung.
That's hanging.
That's hanging.
You did
Right there.
You got your first try, your second try, you got it again.
All right, let's do it 3 in a row.
Maybe.
We have to go now until I miss. Ah, all right. All good things down here have to come to an end.
You're not right.
Except if you're saved by Jesus Christ, and then to die is gain. Now, any comments I missed there? Because I rocked 2 in a row. It took a while, but then I got 2 in a row.
JT says, there we go. Good shot.
Thank you, JT. I'm also, my initials are JT. Justin Timberlake. That was awesome. We're going to do my next drill soon coming up here. Wife's going to help me out here.
Arizona Kid, welcome back.
Hey, always good to see you here, brother. God bless. If someone says muscle is not required for power, trust me, it is.
Kevin wants to know, or
Not
this
necessary, but it's gonna help. Sorry.
question is from Kevin's son. What is the craziest trick that you have hit?
Oh, I have to bring a few into that picture. First that comes to mind is I threw a 25-pound plate. You know when those plates you use for working out? I threw a 25-pound plate and I caught it in the hole where you put it on the bar, Olympic size hole, and I caught it. And I've done that several times. That's probably one of my favorite. I also threw a hockey puck recently and I pinned the hockey puck, an official hockey puck. Some of the power that's required in accuracy. So you have to be so powerful, but you're maintaining your accuracy. Those two were probably my favorites. But I've done so many. So many. It's hard to even think. Like I did do a pin underhand from 7 meters. That was cool. I did an underhand half spin and I did a no spin at 7 meters. Those were really good highlights. That not a lot of people can do that. But the ones that no one has ever done before, those two I named, those were pretty cool. I'll be doing some of these tricks on lives as well, and we'll be revisiting all my tricks live. So those will be cool. What's that?
Your daughter's iPad has a notification how to throw knives with the coolest weatherman.
Hopefully she can't get on YouTube.
No, I can't.
Not yet. Your girls are too young, and it's too dangerous of a world to just be obsessed with your electronics, in that type of realm. So games are cool. Games are cool, ones we kind of approve of.
Matt says, nice setup.
Thank you, man. I'm upgrading the setup. Tomorrow's live is going to show the entire new setup I have all together. You guys are missing a few of the things that are up here. Not yet.
Silent37 says, if you're giving tips, can I expect the same results?
You got to put enough time. There's a lot that I put into how I throw, and it doesn't come quick. You got to have to put. If you throw every day, I'd say that if you're an athletic person, you played sports your whole life, you can probably get to my type of level in a year. Maybe even better. It depends. Like the best out there in the world in any sport. When people are partying, they're training. When people are celebrating, they're training. When people are sleeping, they're training. And if you're going to be focused on your sleep, your nutrition, your exercising, you're throwing those three things in the mix, on top of being an athlete your whole life, you're going to be ahead of the game. Someone getting into it that has never thrown a ball, never played any sports in their life, they're going to have a harder time getting to where they need to get. It's going to take them longer. Doesn't mean they can't get there, just going to take them a little longer. And they're going to have to stay dedicated and focused and get over some lumps, some bumps, stuff that's going to make them maybe frustrated, but they're going to build character. They got to push through, right? A lot of people can get mad at some people that get to where they got quicker because they expect everyone to be in the same position as them. But everyone starts at different levels of skill in their life, Our past experiences, they can push us ahead of the game if we've done more in our life than just video games and sitting in a chair being lazy. You get out there and you do things with your life. You'll get skills developed from them. That's what I did my whole life. I didn't sit around. I was out doing stuff all the time. Like when I played football, I played a lot of defense, but I also played a lot of quarterback. When I played baseball, I had a very good arm and I did a lot of outfield bombs. I played a lot of hockey, worked on a lot of hand-eye coordination, played a lot of goalie, as well as a lot of center and defense. I played a lot of ping pong. I played a lot of different variety of sports, a lot of soccer, a lot of feet work. A lot of these things I played at a very young age, and that helped me beginning of your life, you're like a sponge ready to absorb. So when I was little, I did a lot of these things very, very young, and I continued them throughout my life. I love sports, did them my whole life, continue to do them. And now I just throw knives on top of it all. So I also arm wrestle. I do a lot of training every day for arm wrestling, and it's just made me a more powerful thrower. I think that's what gave me the edge of being one of the most, if not the most powerful knife thrower on the planet, is the fact that I've trained my muscles and my tendons, my ligaments, and that last muscle you use to throw is your forearm. Arm wrestling is all about the forearm. It's not about the bicep as much as people want to believe. It's about the forearm, your wrist. You're not about grip. It's about your forearm. And I train my forearm every day. That's a big muscle neglected by people that are in bodybuilding and muscle, into the gym. They're looking at all the pretty muscles, not their stabilizers, their forearms, right? Their legs, their core, all these things that help you get balance and a good athletic stance. I focused on all that stuff my whole life.
Sander Cohen says, I just want to throw stuff at work.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Little bullets. And they're all like bullseyes too, right? Of course, I'm not going to get all of them in the bullseye. Right now, I'm not even really wanting to because I'll just hit my knives. So right there, hit my knife. Hit my knife. And right in between two knives. Like, they're all right there, bullseye. And that's all about 15 feet. Perfect. Right in the middle of my prime combat range. Prime combat range for throwing a weapon, I would say, is 10 to 15 feet.
Kevin wants to know, could you do a hat catch on a tomahawk?
I'm sure I can. I have some axes. I don't have a tomahawk, I believe. But I do have some axes. I just, honestly, man, outside I'll throw them more. This is the one I'll throw inside if I have to throw it. I don't like throwing axes. They're very easy. They destroy my target. So I want the life of my target to last for knife throwing. I'm sorry, I'm just outdoors, I'll throw axes more. Indoors, it's ashwood. It's ashwood. It's hard wood. I'm pretty much having to get it right here. If I get this axe anywhere else, it's not going to stick. Outdoors, I'll do more, where I can get the handle up, and I have to get more distance that way. Well, I think it's turning into be a nicer night, so it might be a little crazy outside. How you doing, Madeline?
Martin says, like, subscribe, be respectful, and kind and polite. Thank you.
Mark who?
Martin said that.
Oh, Martin, you guys are awesome. Martin, especially. Hit it. All right, we're going to do my next drill. So what you need, well, you don't need, but a staple gun is very easy. And some playing cards, or Pokemon cards, hockey cards. And for this drill, if you didn't catch the beginning of my live or the middle, this was about self-defense, a continuation of the last live, and getting into some drills that are going to help you go from training to instinct, training your mind. How quick the mind can react and gather information is incredible. So we're applying that to this drill and getting more instinctive in your throwing. What you need to do is not look at the target, right? My wife's going to put card. She's going to put one card on the bottom target over here or the top, anywhere. I'm going to plug my ears so I don't hear the staple. So if you've got someone, doing this and they don't have a staple gun, they can make it more silent, better. You don't want to have an edge. You don't want to hear where it could possibly be. So my wife's going to put that up there. She's going to get out of the way and she's going to say, okay. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to be as fast as I can and as close as I can to the card. I don't necessarily have to hit it, but I got to be very quick on reacting where it is, gathering my information. I have two places to look. If you have more targets, the better, because you can put it anywhere. You're going to need somebody to put the card up there. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to throw. And if I can get close or I can hit the card, even that's the ultimate goal. But a target that you're aiming for isn't going to be as big as the card. Remember that. Anything you're going to aim for is probably going to be bigger than this, even a squirrel. Very good drill. And you're going to use a reaction. You can keep your eyes closed and look towards the target. And as soon as you open, you can throw, or you can do what I'm doing, and it's going to be a turnaround reaction. So that's what I'm going to do. So my wife's going to take a card, and I'm a Pokemon collector, so I like the blue color. It's nice and bright. I'll let her have the staple.
Before I do that, Mundo says, I'm gonna sub to you, bro. You seem really chill, and I hope you be a big YouTuber someday.
Wow, man, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, that's super motivating. I appreciate the kind words. I'm here for you. Anything you want, you just let me know, man. I'll do anything for you, really. So I'll show you, this is one of the second drills, I think. Second or third drill I showed you today. I'm going to have my knife. I'm going to plug my ears now so that I can't hear her, and I'm going to be as honest as possible. So here I go. I'm plugging my ears, wife. You can do this. And I'm going to let her get out of the way. I'll let her tap me on the shoulder. You tap me on the shoulder so that I know you're done. Okay? All right. I don't have a camera that also shows me the background. I'm looking at my best camera. So right now I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to do it, right? Faster I can do it. I'm at about 15 feet here. So here we go. Turn around and burn. I might take a split second to do this, right? This is just the drill. Turn around, go. Ooh, nice. I'd say I'm within 3 inches from the card. Beautiful throw. And that's it. Like next time, Rochelle, I'll let you know. I didn't let you know this time.
Yes.
But only one staple.
Okay, sorry about that.
Because I'm going to remove this every time. And we're going to redo it. And we'll do this drill over and over and over until I hit the card. But I think I turned around, I got within 3 inches, and I got it very quick. And I'll tell her next time too. She used the fighting Pokemon, so it blended in with the target. It made it even harder for me to see. I love it. I love that.
Okay.
I'll let her do it again. Plug my ears, let her tap me on my shoulder when she's done. So I should have no idea at all where it is. High, low. All my mind's got to do is process as fast as possible and get a good throw. Great drill. You're going to need someone else to do this for you. All right.
No mirror. No mirror.
No mirror. We can turn the camera around. I'll do that right after this trick and I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, here we go. Right? I kind of like to do this and turn around too as well. Here we go. Oh, that went way up.
Is that under the metal
Yeah,
wrap?
that went right under the metal bracket.
Oh boy.
That's okay. I might have even actually heard it, so I'm gonna have to.
What time is the live tomorrow?
It'll be the same time as today. And at tomorrow's live, like I said, you're gonna want to see it. It's gonna be freaking cool. I put a lot of work, thought, money into what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'll give you a hint, and the one word is rave. All right, wait, don't do it yet, You're taking the card. Oh, you're just taking the card off? I'm plugging my ears now. You can do it. You can put it on the low target or the high target, whatever you want. I'll let her tap me on my shoulder because I got about an inch of my finger in my ear. Again, sorry to do this, but next throw, I will turn the camera around so you can see what I'm looking at. Hey, Madeline. Let Madeline get out of the way.
There you go.
Turn around, process it, and throw. Ooh, right below it.
Ooh.
Right below it. So, one thing too that I want to mention, which is good into, especially when you're training with somebody, laugh, joke. Sometimes our mind has a hard time separating real and training. Sometimes we get into like, it feels real. So to laugh and joke with somebody, especially when you're training with like weapons and, you know, wanting to get your mind in a sense of, I'm going to kill, I'm going to hurt. Laugh and joke, hug each other, shake each other's hand, compliment one another. Keep that a positive time and have fun and laugh. That's going to help it because, again, you're going to get yourself in that moment, in that mindset. but getting it out of it every once in a while is healthy. All right, you're gonna go do it again. I'm just gonna show everybody.
Ed Sullivan's knives thrower's wife held balloons and cigarettes in her mouth for an encore.
Oh yeah, impalement. I've done impalement around myself, holding things with my body parts, but that's just for circus stuff. That's not. Don't put it up yet. I'm gonna show what's going on. So you're gonna see my dog, my kids, the table of all my tricks. Got my ATV, got some balloons, my wood burning stove. All right, I got nothing to look at. Got the music going on in the background. All right, nothing to see. Wow, 152 likes. That is awesome. All right, I got some stuff over there too. My whole setup has probably like a bunch of stuff on the background that you just can't see. You can't see it all. I might go and get the other charger. I might do this a little longer, excuse me. Which means I want to have that charged. All right, I'm plugging my ears. Okay. I would probably be able to do this, like hit the card when I am closer, like 10 feet. But I'm sticking around 15. And the more you do this, the better, right? Thank you. And I appreciate my wife helping me out. You have no idea how awesome it is to have a wife support you in what you do, and vice versa. Everything she does, I'm going to support her and be there for her. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is so close.
I know you already know this, but you can put the card down here. My peripherals are always looking down here. Even if you had a friend and you only had 2 targets, move that target in different areas of your target range so that it's not always in the same spot. That's something that I would do myself to make myself better. Anything to make it harder is better.
Kevin wants to know, what is the lightest knife you have, and is weight the key?
Oh yeah, you want to find a balance. Some throwing knives are not good. My wife didn't know, and she bought me these for Christmas. These are the lightest knives I have. Actually, my keychain has that little knife.
Yeah.
But it's just the keychain. These are super light. Yeah, you can probably stick them like a dart, but they are horrible. The ricocheting, lightness isn't good. I think for no spin, again, I'm a specialty is no spin throwing. You're going to be rotational. It's going to be a heavier knife, but probably like 300 or 250 to 400 grams is going to be the weight for a rotational knife. For no spin, you can probably go to 180 grams to about 250 grams, 250, and that's going to be a perfect range for training. I have throwing knives now that go up to 300, 350 for no spin, and I prefer a heavier knife when it comes to my everyday carry thrower. Heavier, more impact, it's going to be able to penetrate more. Lighter, it's not going to penetrate as much, and you're not going to get as much, distance. Heavier knives, you're going to get the whole package. Lighter knives are going to get you good at, learning and training.
Now, when you say lower target, which target are you meaning?
That's this one.
Okay. Because there's a couple over there.
Yeah, these ones.
Knives and Pizza is on. Welcome back. He says, oh, I hate when that happens. Hey, coolest weatherman and wife. Hope all is well. Whereabouts do I find your guys' email to send you guys a few things?
In the description. I have a section with one of those green check marks. And in that is explaining the giveaway process, because I do a lot of giveaways. My email will be at the end of that. So I think it's the first green check mark. You'll see my email at the end of that explanation. Again, I've paused on the giveaways. I used to do a giveaway every live. Just trying to let my boss catch up with work and allow him to get the next 3 giveaways done. Once that's done, I'm probably going to start doing his again as well as mine. The more I can give, the happier I'm going to be, and I'm sure that's going to make you guys get into throwing, enjoy this channel more. I mean, you've already given me more than I could ask for. Even if this was the subscriber count I'll have for the rest of my life. So the more I can give out to the ones that are showing up and commenting and hanging out with me, the better. All right, let's go. Drill. This is a drill. Combat drill. My wife's gonna tap me on my shoulder. I can't hear. She's putting a card up, and that's it, right? I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna make I would want to be within a second, 2 seconds at most, making a decision and throwing my knife. It takes 1.4 seconds to give a thrust. I want to be able to keep my distance, but be able to do that same speed in throwing a knife. And that goes for deploying it too, even. I wouldn't want to deploy my knife to throw and have to throw, from the sheath. I would want to be at a certain distance to throw. Realistic and practical. If I'm up close, I'm going to pull out my other knives for hand-to-hand combat. But if I'm at a distance, if I'm trying to save somebody from attacker, then I can pull my knife out, get myself a second to be more accurate and more powerful. That's what I'm going to go for. My wife did it. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to give it. That one was a little off because she did throw it down low. I hit it right at the top here. And when you hit the target, anywhere on the side, you're going to get a bad ricochet. So that went up perfectly though.
Harley says, glad to serve with you, brother.
Awesome.
Harley?
Canadian military?
Should we get a new card or?
Nope, just keep going with it.
Okay.
I like how she's using a brown Pokemon because it's blending in and making it harder for me. And I'm a little off right now. I'm not so focused. All right, babe, go. Let's get a little bit quicker in this. I get talking and talking. I want to use this to help you, but also help me. All right, so I'll show you where this drill came from. All right, here we go. It curled down. You gave me the bullseye, like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right, so we call this the reverse blink. So I've been doing a lot of studying on knife martial arts in the world. Filipinos have a really good one, FMJ. And where this come from is what they call the reverse blink. You have your eyes closed, you have somebody in front of you with a knife, and they're gonna put the knife in an area. And what you're gonna do is do a reverse blink. So here I am, a reverse blink looks like this. I mean, it is a split second. You might not even have saw my eyes open. You don't open for a second and then close. And in that moment, you keep your eyes open and closed, reverse blink it, and then you're gonna swat the knife. So wherever that person was, you're gonna open and close, and then you're gonna swat the knife away. So I'm trying to implement that type of training into knife throwing. So that, because there isn't any training for knife throwing. Not good, practical, realistic training to be a martial art knife throwing or weapon throwing. This drill is going to be a relation to that.
What advice or tips would you give someone that wants to start learning how to throw knives but hasn't ever really done it?
Oh, great question. All right, while I plug my ears, I'll answer that. So depends on what type of style you're throwing, because that's the route you're going to go with what type of knife you're going to buy. You don't want to get a cheap knife, a light knife. Those things can develop bad habits. You really want to make a good call, very quick too. So getting help from a channel like this or someone else's, asking questions to the community is going to definitely help you get a better knife right off the bat. You don't got to waste money, and you can get less bad habits developed by using a good knife, so that you can just focus on throwing that knife and getting good. So what type of style, rotation or no spin? I'm throwing no spin. Here we go. Again, 15 feet, so I'd have this probably done if I was closer. Here we go, turn around, throw. Oh. Reaction though is quick.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the drill over and over. Nothing I'm going to be aiming at is going to be that small. So being that close and being that quick, that's what I want. That's what, if I had students, that's what I would tell them. You're doing good. You're not missing. You're hitting your target. You're applying the accuracy, the power, the speed. Your mind's reacting. You're getting better and better. The more times you can do this, I'm sure you're just going to develop skills that are just going to be good. You're just going to be good. Let's do it again. Until I get this card, I'm going. Plugging your ears because my wife's using a stapler, so I don't hear exactly where it is. All right, here we go. Oh,
Right
touch the edge.
under it. Oh.
I know my wife probably doesn't want to do this anymore.
No, it's fine. It's just lads, it's easier.
Oh, and the power is there. So I know I got in there probably about 2-3 inches into that target. Okay, let's do this again. And you can position yourself at different areas, different distances. Again, combat range, I'd say 10 to 20 feet. Place yourself on angles all within 10 to 15 feet, and you just can get yourself better. Turn and burn. Oh my goodness, look how good I'm getting now with it.
Mm-hmm. Nice man cave, yo.
Yeah, buddy. It's just getting better and better, this man cave. I'm thinking if it was blue, I would have had it by now, but because we're using this brown card on a brown target, I'm really like the best it could probably be. No, we're going this way. I'm just going to go in around 12 feet now. You know, this could be a lot of scenarios you could be using this for. Someone comes up behind you, someone yells, yo, watch out! You know, you were seeing an attacker, you guys were trying to break it up, and you were walking away and someone started charging, you could turn around and throw. Give yourself a little reaction time to get away, stop the guy from rushing you, turn and burn. Perfect throws though, I'm so happy with it. Thanks, honey. Alright, here we go. Just put it up. I will get this. I'm pretty sure I will. I could probably take a split second more and get it, but I'm looking at being more
I'm trying to go fast for you
trying to
too.
let my mind really react. Oh, there it
Woo!
is!
Corner cut.
There it is. I'll take it. I got a lot real close to it. And that's a tough one, because that's lower on the target too. Oh, it's like this isn't even a trick shot. This is drills. But of course, whoa, whoa. Yeah, my dog always gets pumped up when I throw my celebration chair. You gotta be happy. Just wiggle and jiggle. Don't hurt your wrist. That's your working arm. Here, I got it. Yeah, like it's in there. It doesn't need much, but usually when I turn and throw, I can generate a lot of power that way. And it's very, very effective. The turn and burn, they call it. All right, I'm going to be right back. The wife's going to read a few comments when I get back. I'll answer anything anyone else said.
Yes.
I have not thrown all day, so don't mind me. Go inside.
Mom is calling guys.
Inside. Sit with Maya. Sit with Maya.
Oh, dude. You are one crazy,
Don't you, Maya?
He got me. I'm pitching to the rescue.
No comments? Am I seeing anything?
You have to check on your iPad.
Josh is still in the Army. He is currently out of element. He's working with the Navy right now and has been actively serving for 20 years. Kevin, have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. Pump, I will let him know when he gets back. And Anthony, we will get to your comment there as well.
Wife's throwing some bullseyes. Well, the wife's
That was
throwing.
a perfect bullseye. You said it.
I'm gonna eat some sushi while the wife's throwing.
I haven't missed one until you said that.
I threw you off, eh?
A little bit. Where's Madeline?
She didn't fly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's probably charging it now. Kevin said he was popping off. Have a good night.
That was awesome. He stuck around for a bit there.
Yep. Lots of questions. There are 2 comments there for you.
Underhand throwing knife from the ankle boot. The only knife I've seen that will close McGill Hibben. I have some McGill Hibben knives. Any recommendations? Anthony. The first knife I ever threw was a boot knife made by Smith & Wesson. Now, I eventually broke the tip because these knives aren't meant for throwing. But this is a boot knife made by Smith & Wesson. And what I would recommend before you get into knives that aren't meant for throwing, get really good at throwing. If you want to throw half spin or rotation, most likely for a boot knife for combat, if you're going to get into rotational throwing, I'd recommend half spin. You can be very instinctive with it, but no spin is the one to go. So if you want to do underhand half spin, underhand no spin. I think more power can come from underhand half spin rather than underhand no spin. You got to manipulate too much of your body in such a weird and unnatural way, and it's not going to be as much power as half spin. You can do more like the bowling and get a lot of power with that, and just hold your knife like this, half spin. Let me see if I can get it. I don't do it much, so we just kind of, that was it. It's harder to be accurate. I explain it because when you throw a knife overhand, you're passing through your line of vision. Underhand, you're not. It's like a hockey stick and a hockey puck. Your eyes are different. You're at different areas, but you can still train to be very accurate, no doubt. It's going to be a little bit harder because it's not as natural. Oh. But from the boot, if the blade's up or down, you can pull it out and do no spin. And much easier for me to do that. But if you're underhand throwing, you can do underhand no spin or underhand half spin. Like, what are you looking for? Here you go. Underhand half spin. Bullseye. My target's very hard, and you are limited on power. The feeling of throwing anything is awesome. So regardless of how you want to throw, just do what you like. If it's underhand, do it underhand. If it's overhand, it's overhand. If it's a little bit of everything, it's a little bit of everything. I really wanted the best out of my training, and no spin was the studying that it led me. With all the studying I did, I went down that road. But I think you can get anywhere, half spin, full spin, or no spin, and get similar results.
Someone wanted to know if you can show them your knives over there.
I'm showing bits and pieces at a time. I don't want to show them all at once. But maybe I'll do some shorts with one at a time. I am showing a lot of different ones over time. So if you're showing up, you're going to eventually see them all. I have so many. We'll get to them. We'll definitely get to them. I have a lot of cool ones, trust me. Hey, honey. Another drill is throwing very fast. So I brought my timer out here. We'll turn it around.
Isn't it illegal to have road signs, someone says?
Sorry? Road signs?
Isn't it illegal to have road signs?
No, I didn't steal those. Those were given to me. So if you're stealing them, sure. If they were just like thrown out and someone said, no, I'll take them. I'm not using those for anything else. You might be right. I'd have to look into that. Not intended. They were a gift. Did the battery run out? Because I do have to charge this. Oh, there we go. All right,
Brian says you have a dope knife collection.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Where's the meat cleaver?
I have a meat cleaver right down here. Can you all see that? I love throwing this. I throw this no spin, but I threw this cleaver 110 feet rotationally, just in a little target like that at 110 feet, nailed it. On my channel, you can check it out. But I like throwing this thing no spin as well. Super powerful because it's so heavy and it packs a punch. Such an aggressive point. Oh man, it shakes the whole. Oh yeah, that thing's good.
What kind of sheaths would you recommend for ankle boot wear? Leather is probably the most comfortable.
Yeah.
I was thinking about making a Clydex press and doing some DIY sheaths with that.
You'd have to test it, but I'd go with leather because it's flexible and it's more comfortable. Comfort, I would take over durability almost because it's in a boot. It's already protected enough. Leather is great in water, very flexible. It's going to form fit to your body. So yeah, I'd go leather for sure on that.
Anthony said, wowzers, that'd kill a boar.
Yeah, it would. All right, so the next drill is just speed, accuracy, power. And what you're gonna do is give yourself 10 seconds, depending on what knives you have. So I could probably get rid of 6 in 5 seconds, but we're gonna start at 10 and we're gonna work our way down. Not allowed to miss, and I'm gonna hit the timer and I'm gonna get all these done before that timer runs out. 6 knives, here we go. So I got my start and stop. So obviously I'll give myself 1 extra second to hit the button and then come up. So here we go. Ready? And we're just gonna go as fast as I can. Go. Oh, oh, even less time. 3 seconds.
Boom.
And for the most part, they're all nicely in, nice power still, and accurate. You can just pick yourself up with distance, and you can just do this now over and over. Let's reset it. Let's make it hard. Let's give myself 6 seconds. All right, so I'm at 10 feet. We can work ourselves back, but let's get good with this. Go. Boom, 5 seconds or 6 seconds. That's like a knife per second.
Anthony says, do you ever throw darts? Kind of a weird thing, I guess, short range.
Darts.
Shot range.
Once I threw knives, I never threw a dart again unless it was like at work. A lot of military messes have darts, but once you throw knives, it's like you're like 20 becoming 10 again. You know, throwing darts is totally different. It's a different movement. You know, there's the professional knife throwing, they call it, like the world WKTL, and they throw their knives like a dart. Don't get confused. Knife throwing has been around a lot longer than them. They aren't throwing a knife the way knife throwers do it. The community doesn't agree with that. They have too many rules and restrictions, and they make it silly and stupid, and they don't allow us to come in and even participate. They make it the World Knife Throwing League, yet it's only America, and it's just a selected group that they allowed, and they throw their knives like this. Like, it's ridiculous. That's like a dart. Nobody in competitions, because there's knife throwing competitions all over the world. It's not how they throw a knife. People are throwing a knife. They're throwing it. This isn't throwing your knife. That's, if anything, a toss. A flick. I don't know what that is. I mean, sure, you can probably be technical with me and say that's throwing, but that's just not supported in my books.
Someone says you guys should cosplay Daredevil and Electro. Help grow your channel, trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure that will. I have some ideas. I have some characters coming. I have some friends that are going to show up.
Anthony, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Rikusi? Hey, it's the bro.
Rikuchi.
Anthony
Like Tororici, Rokuchi.
Says, hey, it's the bro.
And then, how did you start knife throwing?
How you doing, Anthony? Good to see you again. How I started knife throwing, I was into bushcrafting. I was into, being out in the field, military. I always had a knife. And, I quickly, later actually in life, I started using the internet more. I didn't at the beginning. I stayed away from electronics. But once I got into a certain part of my trade, where I was a shift worker and I was working 12 hours on, 12 hours off, night shifts. To kill some time at work, I was looking up YouTube videos. And a lot of my YouTube videos were, bushcraft, shelters, starting fires, making traps, just getting all the information I can in that regard. And it eventually, because I was looking up a lot of knives, knife reviews, because I was buying a lot of knives meant for doing the field craft that I needed, which eventually the algorithm led me into throwing knives. And once I saw somebody throw a knife, I was hooked. I was like, that's so cool. Like I could be out in the bush and instead of going to set up a shelter, a fire, cook some food and go home, I can now hang out and throw my knives and chill and feel like I'm just not bored anymore as much. So that just led me into throwing, and then I was hooked. Some people can throw a knife and they're hooked for life. Others might get bored and they're not a true knife thrower, that's what I say. Others will throw a knife and they're gonna be hooked for life. There's something about the satisfaction of hearing your knife hit wood and that thunk sound. Oh, once you get into hitting a can, that sound of hitting a can. Hitting a ring. I have rings. I've thrown a 1/4-inch washer and pinned it. Doing these things that you can do with a knife, it just gets better and better. And I don't get bored because there's so much you can do with it. And you can only get better the more you put into it. I love it. But that's how I started. We'll pin a can as I mentioned that. Oh, that actually was a good throw. I'm just not used to lobbing it. So I was like, oh, that wasn't a good throw.
Brian has 2 questions. Are you able to throw with both hands or can you throw with your lefty?
I'm going to do a live where I throw a lot with both hands, but I'll show you right after this. I can throw with both, but obviously I'm more focused on my dominant throwing arm. Just like in any sport, your jab comes from the jab hand. If you're kicking with your most dominant, but, like in any sport range, no one's going and working on their... If I'm going to lose my right arm, I'm not going to focus on throwing. I'm going to focus on saving my life. But yeah, I can throw both ways. Because it's fun. Once you get into throwing, you want to throw with your feet. I threw with my feet before. You're going to throw with everything. I've seen some guy with his hair. He puts a thing in his hair. He set it up perfectly. And he swings his head and his ponytail comes and throws the knife out of it. If I had a ponytail, you can do it. You place your knife in your hair. So when you throw it, it goes out. And he does that.
Anthony wants to know, do you ever practice on moving targets?
This is what I'm doing right now. But I've done so much with moving targets. It's so important for training, moving targets. I've used pendulum swings, tires that are moving. As realistic as I can make it. There's some people out there that like Throw Star, it's not realistic. It looks like a show. It's just meant to be appealing to your eye, but it's just not realistic at all in my mind. It's more for show. He's just going with the patterns of his video, of what he's set up in his range. If you know who I'm talking about, and he shares his video because he did it once, and that's great, but you're going off of how you set it up, and the way you're throwing underhand isn't effective. What you're wearing isn't realistic. You're not walking around like a superhero with all this stuff on you the way it is. So it's just for show. Ooh,
So Anthony says that's actually really cool about your story of how you became a knife thrower. It's like
Thanks,
your
man.
origin story.
It is. How'd it happen? There it is.
It's Doe says, I love bushcrafting. I still can't find the perfect knife. I started shooting slingshots for the same reason.
I too.
Thank you for your service.
I kick my daughter's butt at axe throwing.
Good.
You shoot slingshots.
Don't be easy on them.
Yeah. When you shoot slingshots, it's great when you hit the can.
I got into slingshot before I was into knife throwing. So I have some slingshots. I'll bring them out. They're very cheap ones though. And I even got like the little arrows you can use for the slingshots. Yeah, I got like crossbow slingshots, a bow, all that stuff before I started throwing knives. What, you want to show me something?
I'm gonna go check on the girls. Yes, we are in Canada. Is that okay there?
That is okay there. I like pickles too, man. My wife likes them more.
I love pickles.
Anybody who's been around my channel, this crack, I fixed it. It isn't growing. Nothing's happening to it. So whatever, I made a short if you want to see how to prolong the life of your targets, because you got to wet them and they're going to dry, they're going to split. You can check my short out recently, how to fix your target. Always follow through with your throw. Less injury, more power. Don't restrict your body from what it wants to do in the momentum you built. Oh, the straight, those are nice. If I pronounced it right, I know what you're talking about. Let me look that up so I don't. It's absolutely cool in my books, bro. Absolutely cool. Mercaida. Yeah, Mercaida is a few of the handles I have. Psalms 122, Romans 15. You can look at those verses, those chapters of why I support Israel. Don't support everything they do, but I don't support everything anyone does, including myself. So what is going on though is very, very divisional, like a lot of division. A lot of the media is used as a weapon now to turn people against one another and divide us against one another. And the end is predicted. God told us what would happen before it happens so that when it happens, more people would believe, more people would trust him. These things are supernatural. What he's told us in the Bible, it's crazy in the Bible when you really look at it. It's survived longer than any structure, building, anything in history. And it's still surviving till this day. And the truth in it shows us what happens in the end. And part of it is Israel. And the world turns against Israel. All the nations around the world will turn against Israel in the end. That's what's happening right now. A lot of people, the end was always predicted. It's always been. No, Israel wasn't even a nation until 1956, 57, 46. So some of the prophecy couldn't even happen until the last 60, 70 years. And now that the war is going on and the world's turning against them, there's a reason why that's happening. Oh. Hitting a moving target, bro. You're sticking your knife, you're getting it close to it. That's all good stuff in my books. This is just one version of training on a moving target. See how it's not hitting the target? So throwing the can is always a little hard to do if you haven't done it. It's with the non-dominant hand, which I'll throw with my non-dominant hand. I was supposed to do that. Oh, what? What?
Nice.
What? Yeah! Little John in the house. Love hitting a can. It'll never get old in my books. It'll never get old. I love it. I love doing it. I know, I had a couple of Israel comments there. I just wanted to address quickly.
Stolen valor. Oh my goodness.
Just look in my description.
Yeah.
Look at my description. I had this a whole lot last live. If you look in the description, I have posted videos of proof. News articles were actually done. News reporters did a little video on me and my career, and my military career. I left that link in the description so you can check out that video And I got my DUs right here. But just check that video out. That should be enough.
It's pretty cheap too. What do you think about Top's bob knife? Brothers.
That's an awesome field knife. That's probably one of my favorite field knives. I'll probably buy that. I love the bob knife. What is it? Brothers
in Bushcraft.
Brothers in Bushcraft. It has a ferro rod attached to the sheath, and then the knife is designed to strike it. Some knives you have to scrape off the patina, the coating, to be able to get a clean strike with your ferro rod. But that knife is just made for the field. I love it.
Yeah, because he said Brothers of Bushcraft, they got one which looks cool, and that Tom Brown tracker knife.
Oh yeah,
badass.
the Tom Brown is just it's got a lot of history to it. A lot of all the Tops knives do. The Tom Brown, yeah, that's a nice knife. They got the mini one, they got the bigger one, they got the tan version camo you can get. It's a nice knife. All right, we're gonna throw. So there's two ways I throw left-handed. One of them is called no reloading, and I can throw 6 knives here very quickly. I mean, I'm not training like this, but it's just something that I can do. If I put a little, like an hour into this, I can get 6 knives under a second. I have a record up there showing that I did that. Actually, I got 6 knives at 0.95 seconds, and I was number 1 in the world, and I got consecutively, just like I just did it, 274 times, and I only trained for about 3 weekends, couple days. So it's just the way you hold your knives in your hand. So there's 3 knives in each hand, and it's just the way you're releasing them. But I do a lot of trick shots like this because it's just for show. It's not realistic in combat. No matter who's trying to convince you, don't let people try to just because they can do it really well. Think about what they're actually saying. Someone's going to grab 3 knives on each hand and do these spinoramas and say that's useful for combat. I don't care how good I could be at it. I'm not doing that. So that's one way, but obviously the unnatural way is throwing like the way I do with my left arm, just like I do with my right. So it's just so unnatural, right? And I'm throwing no spin as well. So not bad for never really. Just those are the first throws. 3 out of 50%.
What's your MOS?
00100.
Canadian Armed Forces.
People like trying to test me.
Yeah, they're
Yo,
like, you're not even allowed to wear
I can leave the proof in the description. Just go down for all you doubters. I don't even call you haters. You're just doubters. These are old combats. We have new versions. I'm not wearing these out of dress. Just look in the description below. That video was made a few months ago. Like, you don't want to look in the description because you don't want to be proven wrong, then I won't allow you to.
It is cringy, Anthony. I agree.
Oh man, my zipper broke on this before. Here's my freaking DUs. It is cringy because, like, I don't care to have to prove to you, but I understand there's people out there that do this. They lie about their freaking career. There's my DUs. There's my medals. I got one more medal coming for an operation I just did, a deployment. I'm in the Army. I'm in the Canadian Army. There you go. There's my DUs. You can't get those all done up the way they are.
Anthony says clean.
Yeah, oh yeah, nicely ironed, ready to go. Army DUs, there's really just nothing like them. Air Forces are the worst. Navy's kind of stylish as well. But the Army is the best. They're the most blamed.
It's Doe was at work, so he just went back and listened to his answers for his question. He says thank you so much for answering them.
No problem, man. No problem at all. Here, cheers.
Anthony says this stolen valor dude's a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, there's always going to be people like that. I welcome them though. They got nothing. They got nothing on me. I understand though, and I would be questioning people too, especially dressed like me. I would. Why not? That's why I put some evidence showing the proof so that they know I'm not fake. I'm not trying to pull one over you.
Someone asked, I believe they asked, what was your favorite knife? But I'm trying to find it.
Oh yeah, right here. This is a Tops knife, the Sky Marshall.
Yes, what was your favorite knife?
Sky Marshall. I'm a weatherman. The fine wine of Tanto tip. The best guard I've ever felt. The thickness, I can throw this. I won't throw this inside. I have thrown this before. I'll throw it outside for you. It's got the window smasher pry bar type of thing on the back. I love that. This thing has a nice thickness, about 8 millimeters, if not more. It's got everything, serrated edges. I love squared handles, not rounded handles. It's a way better grip for me in my hand. Everything, size, weight, sheath is amazing. All Tops knives have this rotating 360 spring steel clip that attaches to your belt, and it just gives you a versatile way of carrying it. You're not forced to just carry it right up like this. You can carry it on your belt like that. You can carry it in the front like this. I love that. That's where my knives are for throwing. My combat EDC throwers are tucked in my front like this. And my belt's over. So I had to pull them out. They're ready to go. But yeah, that's my favorite knife. It will always be my favorite knife. I've went through so many, studying them too, because they're expensive. I got 6 Tops knives. That's like $1,600. I got some nice ones. The Backbite, the Taliban Takedown. The Steel Eagle is the next one that I love. Oh, I can throw the Steel Eagle like a bullet.
I'm just going to read a few of Anthony Varella's comments here because he sounds like he's got to take off.
Okay.
Says, hey brother, got to go back to work. Appreciate you answering all my questions. Hope you and your family have a good night. I'll subscribe and I'll check you out later. Be sure to tune in on tomorrow's live. It's going to be a good one. And then he said, dude, I wear camo. I don't have a uniform or plane, but just block these drama queens.
Nah, I welcome them.
Yeah. And then he said, damn, that spine is thick.
Yeah, it is. That's 180 likes. That's a record for me. 180 likes. You guys rock. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that like button today.
Your stand is on your phone.
Oh, that's why it was 181 as I mentioned it. No, I don't even care that. It's just awesome seeing you guys do that. I'm not even going to ask. But when you guys hit that, like when I see that number, I'm just like, man, that's so freaking cool. It just went up 190. Imagine we hit 200 today.
Anthony Rukusi just said, my bad, I just liked and I forgot.
Oh, man, no worries. No worries at all. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
The Tiddler says, have you ever hit another knife with another knife while trying to hit the stump?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hit them in the worst way. I'll show you these ones. So one thing I just did there. You can stab a knife as hard as you can. You'll penetrate a knife way more when you throw it. You can try that drill if you want. These knives are the beasts. They're the thunkers. Oh man, you can probably see the holes. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So like because they're so thick, they're 10 millimeters and they just get thinner as it goes up. But the back end is 10 millimeters thick. And I hit the knife like right in. It's like a Robin Hood. It's a Robin Hood. Speaking of which, my first live I've ever done, I did Robin Hood stuff. It's a cool live. I'll probably revisit that one because it's got like 40 views. And all that stuff is really cool that I did. I started off pretty hot with things that I wanted to do.
Mad respect, you treat your knives like trophies.
Yes, my mom threw away all my trophies as a kid. And I had 50 plus trophies, championships, MVPs, gone. Everything gone.
Do you use full strength when you throw?
Almost every throw is close. I can throw full, and it has a lot to do with body mechanics. So I can throw full just using my arm, and maybe a little bit of my hips there. I can also use my legs and bend back, and put that's everything. I can even feel more that I can put from my shoulder, my forearm. A lot of shoulder, back, and forearm is used, but your whole energy starts from the bottom of your feet right to the tip of your finger. So you can lean forward, lean back, and No one can throw harder than that. Not anyone in the world. Like, they would have to do what I did, and then they can be at number one with me. But that's everything there. You can be very quick with it too, and just kind of like pop back and forth, like boom, boom. These throws are fast and accurate.
So Anthony says he's got to go back to work. He keeps babbling, but work's calling. But
That's
he says,
okay, man. I'm glad to have you here.
But he says, check out the Thai Tactical Clydex sheets. They're custom.
Okay, I'll look that up. Screen caption that.
Okay, done.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Have you ever had to throw a knife at a tree during military exercise in forest conditions?
No. But the more I throw, and my name's getting out there, there's people in the Navy that they want me to throw on ship. There's people that want to learn. Who knows where this can go? There are militaries around the world that still train throwing knives. So it's a thing, you know, it could be your last weapon. Trench warfare is still a thing in training in the military. Having a bayonet is still a thing in the military. So if you can train with a knife and just be able to throw it, you're going to be better with that knife, that tool, that weapon. That's what I look at it as. How can I be the most versatile with what I have on me? And that includes throwing it. It does.
Have you ever had to use this in a real life situation?
No. Most training people, like that train martial arts with weapons, I'm talking like high-end people. Like you can look up Pablo from FMJ. They've never been stabbed, never been in a knife attack, but they are one of the best trainers in that category with knives. You don't have to be stabbed to take knives seriously, right? I don't really ever want to be in a situation. I don't. If I have to, if I'm forced into one, at least I can look at the end of the day and say, I did everything I could to be most effective. I couldn't have done anything different. You know, you can always reevaluate yourself, but the more training you do, you got to be realistic with the expectations you're doing. You can't be unrealistic. You can't put yourself into a perfect category. No one's perfect. No goalie, no sports person is perfect. Like a good batter in the MLB has a 0.3 batting average. That's what makes him a good hitter. 0.3. You ain't going to be able to do stuff perfect, and not even well. Things that are thrown at you or throwing things, it's a tough thing to deal with. So just training and the right training will give you more of a survival rate. And that's all I'm looking for. And that's all I'm offering to everyone else. Just to gain the right information, get the right training. And if you're looking to be a man or a woman, a warrior, you can do it better and more effectively and have a better survival rate, not just for you, but those around you. That one went up there. That one I'm gonna have to look for later. Oh man, that was one of those flying up there.
Yeah.
I don't know where. It went through the one little spot.
WDO says you're almost at 200 likes. We're at 196.
Wow.
Brett wants to know what do you do with the Canadian military? Mad respect for your service. You seem like a very chill dude.
Hey man, appreciate that. I've started off in the infantry, digging a trench, kicking a door in. Then I went to avionics. Didn't like that, too nerdy and weird. So I got into a more nerdy trade, which was meteorology. I became a weatherman. The recruiting center at the time, the BPSO was like tempting me in a trade that was hurting and needing people. And weather seemed awesome and cool to me. And it's funny because then it became the coolest weatherman. An article was made, front page of the newspaper. They called me the coolest weatherman on the planet. I couldn't be more happy with it. I might not get along with the people in my trade, but I love what I do. And that's what we got to get into. We got to love what we do. I work with the Army. I work with the Air Force. I work with the Navy. The experience I have is unreal. The secret clearance, all that stuff I get to do because everyone needs the weather. All the command teams need the weather. You know the weather, you win the war.
I'm sure it'd be hell of an entertainment for you and your buddies in the military. Might as well make a bet out of it and get them to pay for your drinks for the night because you'll win.
I'm probably the most deadly. You can say it yourself. I don't need to say it for me. Any meteorologist out there?
How many times a day do you throw?
Sometimes I just throw for long hours at a time. I do the longest lives on YouTube. I like training for a long time at a day. So maybe not periods. I do maybe 2 or 3 if you were to split them up sometimes. But I'll train to get my heart rate up, my blood pressure up. I want to get fatigued. So I'll train for hours at a time. For the most part, it's like 2 hours. That's a minimum. My lives are all up to 3 hours and beyond. And I just want to throw. I think the best training is when you want to stop. So whenever I feel like stopping, I push another hour. And then sometimes I'm like, I want to stop after that extra hour, and I push myself another hour. Just because it's better. It's just like, as long as I'm therapy, I'm treating my arm, I'm icing it, resting it properly, getting good sleep, getting good nutrition, stretching, doing all the things that is needed. I can keep going and I feel healthy. My arms don't hurt. I arm wrestle train, so that helps my arm really get strong tendons and ligaments, all that muscle stuff. I do exercise for my rotator cuff, all around my shoulder and my back. I'm very natural. I'm very healthy. I drink bone broth every single day. I drink bone broth. I wake up and the first thing that goes into my body is a bunch of bone broth. I have supplements of it. I eat very healthy, and that's a very important thing. And getting that good sleep, no drugs, no alcohol, like just clean as can be, natural, no supplements beyond bone broth and creatine. That's it, right? And I just got into creatine.
Sam says he loves the flags.
Thanks, buddy.
One Bone Malone says the only job you can be wrong and still right at the same time.
Well, you're right. But in the military, no. The first people they would blame in a plane crash and something going wrong would be the weather guy. We can't be wrong with some numbers, like altimeters. I can't be wrong with my altimeter by like 0.2. If I am, like, I'm not passing even my courses. Like, I'm getting freaking sent back to basic training, you know? Like, you can't be wrong. The people you're giving the weather to, they need it. People in the public don't need it. They just want to know. Am I going to be able to like go outside and drink a beer? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, whatever. But people need to fly. People need to get home safe. People on the Navy ship don't want to go into seas with rough waves and swells and storms. Like, I got to keep people safe and bring them home safe. So knowing the weather, where the weather's going is super important. And the command team, if you're wrong, you're not going to be wanted, and they're going to freaking kick you out. Like, you can't be wrong. You really can't. You might be a light off. You might be like, the rain is supposed to start at 7. It starts at 8. Like, that's bare minimum, you know? Like,
we just hit 201 in likes.
What? Yeah, right. Yo, what? Oh, yo, that's a record, baby. Yeah. Oh man, my endorphins just went way up. And I lost the knife, and I don't even care.
Vic says he manipulated the weather, you win the resources.
Pretty much. They've been trying to manipulate the weather for centuries, almost probably now.
Okay.
It's the most powerful thing on this planet.
I want to get to this person's question because he's asked a couple times. How do you disarm someone with a knife?
I wouldn't try. There's a lot of martial arts out there that maybe will help you get, if you have to, right? Like, you're in a stupid situation, in a corner, you got yourself in a corner, don't get yourself in a corner, know your surroundings. You know, I wouldn't ever, I try to get out of that situation. But if you can't, you know, get the proper training that's going to give you an edge. Normally, when it comes to attacks, you know, a lot of people use these blocking mechanisms. You're obviously focused on the knife, but you want to see the body language. There's body language you can read on people. Someone's talking to you, they turn sideways. That's body language. They're getting ready, right? They're going. Most people are right-handed, so they're ready. Maybe someone's like talking to you, you're getting into an argument, and they start touching. They start touching themselves, right? Why do people do that, right? Like, someone gave me an example. Like, you're about to propose to your wife, and you have your ring in your pocket all day. And right before you're about to propose, you're kind of like, you're checking for it. People naturally do that because when they're ready to use it, they want to know it's there. So someone could be like doing this, they turn sideways, and that's body language. Someone could be like, they're grooming. They might be a little bit like you can almost feel that energy different. Like, that's body language. That something might be going down. They can also be doing this. They're checking. They're looking in their if they can do it and get away with it. They're looking if anyone's watching. So look at body language. You might help yourself back up, get away from that type of stuff. I wouldn't want anyone to have to get into a situation where you have to disarm a knife off somebody. You know, if you have to, look up the videos, look up the training, get the visual stimulants, get that stuff into you. If you think that's something you need to do, get the proper training. I have a little bit in it and understanding, but I'm gonna always have a weapon on me. I don't ever leave my house. There's knives by my bed. There's knives where I eat cereal. I don't eat cereal, but there's knives everywhere I go. Like, and wherever I go, there's knives. I'm always gonna have something to defend myself. If someone pulls a knife, I'm gonna have a knife, right? Tit for tat. Like, you know, I don't want to have to use it. I'd rather just say, you know, I got one, you got one, man. You go home, I go home. Peace. You know, first line of defense is trying to get out of it. Do whatever you can to get out of a fight. Someone's got a weapon. If someone had a gun, I wouldn't be pulling no knife out. I'd be, what do you want? My wallet? Take it. Like, my life's much more valuable than what I have. What do you want my shoes too? Take it. Like, I don't care, right? My life's way more important.
So I'm just gonna read a few comments here.
Okay.
One Bone Malone says this is sort of your weather answer to him.
Yeah.
He says that makes much more sense than what the news channel shows.
Oh man, way more.
And he says, I respect the answer and your dedication. I was just poking fun, but thanks for the reply.
Oh man, I'm here to actually answer people, not, you know.
We're at 2:04 now.
Ignore you. Oh wow, guys, that's incredible.
WDO is subbing. Templar says Supermaning that push-up.
You saw that type of push-up, eh? I clapped behind my head.
There's just so many. I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, guys.
Nope, I found it. Oh yes, that was easy. Boom.
The most unemployed thing I've seen all day.
The what?
The most unemployed thing I've seen all day.
What's that mean?
Unemployed. Like, you must be doing this all day because you're unemployed.
Oh no, I worked today. I worked all week. I'm in the military. I work and I get deployed. I'm leaving next Sunday for deployment. So I won't be doing much in the month of June. The end of August, middle of August, all of September. What I might do is, you know, I have a lot of videos saved. So while I'm on deployment, I'll be able to like still push out some content. What I also might do is like a day in the life of me on the Navy ship, and you can see what it looks like. I'm going to be on a frigate. I'm going to be on a warship. So it's going to be very cool to experience this. We're doing war scenarios out in the middle of the sea with other countries, with submarines. It's going to be freaking cool. So if I can find a way to bring you along with me, I'm going to do that. Whether it's live or I make a video. We do have some internet now. Starlight has helped out the Navy. So if I can do that, that'd be really cool. Right? What do you think? You gonna come along with me for a sail?
Do you like big, cold steel folders?
Yeah, I have. I had the big light. It's right here. But now I have the 6-inch. But what happened was it broke on me because I threw it. If you're going to throw a folder, it's going to break, right? The locking mechanism, like you're going to want to get some Loctite. You're going to want to get some stuff that helps it. I learned with this. This was like within couple months of throwing knives. You know, now I wouldn't hurt this as much, but I trained with this. The handle's way too big. It's like a double sword I'm almost getting. I'm losing a little bit off the edge and I'm hitting the top, but you're almost getting a full grip with two hands. Not what I want in my pocket. You know, I see some other throwers doing it that are really good throwers, but not my jam. I'm not looking to have, I'm looking to be minimalist, but have very thought out knives that are very good. Like my pocket knife is a carry-on bit. And the best self-defense pocket knife, I think, in the market. Pocket knife, I'm not going to want to stab with a folder. They fold. I don't want the folding mechanism to fail and cut my fingers off. I'm going to slash like a bear, like a freaking bear that would slice, you know, I'm going to keep people at a distance. If they're trying to stab me, whatever the weapon is, I'm going to be able to do this over and over and bring some serious power and keep that person at a distance. That's what I'm going to want on me in a pocket. But I definitely have some cold steel. I do have the 6-inch version of this, and it's perfect condition. I like it because when you pull this out, it automatically opens, so you don't have to like then open it when you pull it out. It does it for you when you pull it out of your pocket because of this little clip here, and I really like that. So I have one that I carry with me in the military. I don't carry my carry-on bit on the ship. I carry my T-Light with me on the ship, and this is always with me. This bad boy is always with me.
What do you guys enjoy doing in your free time, or what is your dream vacation?
I like throwing knives on my free time, but most of my free time is given to my kids and my wife. We hang out, we play video games, we go on hikes, camping, we go to the beach. We just hang out and do as much as we can together. I love to throw knives. I love playing hockey. I love teaching my kids sports, teaching them anything that they want to do. I don't like forcing them. I like to build interest and then teach them everything they need to know in it. Those are big ones for me.
What's your dream vacation?
My dream vacation would probably be, because I haven't done many vacations. All the vacations I took were on deployments. My dream vacation would be with my wife in Italy and going through the country of romance, going through Venezuela, going through Venice, going through Rome, going through all those areas, and then making my way to Israel and Jerusalem and walking where Jesus walked. Those would be my dream. I think more or less, if there was peace in Israel and no danger, I would take my wife to Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and go around those areas. That would be so meaningful to me. All the history evolving around that area is so cool in my mind, in my beliefs. So that would be my dream vacation.
Can we see your biggest knife? And while you grab that, I'm a kid and I have a pocket knife because you never know, because someone could turn on you and that would be really bad.
Yeah, I would rather have something on me than not.
It's Doe says, heck yeah, take me.
Those would be so nice, but then anywhere Jesus went, I don't know if I think inside I might have a bigger knife.
Jerusalem is quite safe actually anyway, you should go.
Oh, I would love to. Honestly, I really would. These are rotational knives. Like, this is a pretty big knife. I think it's like 12, 13 inches long. I don't have many big ones. I don't. Like, I would love from Tops, it's got lightning on it. It's like it would be my, bushcraft chopper that can just get me through a lot of bush. But I got the K-bar, the Hog. This thing's very comfortable. It's a very good chopper. It's got a lot of a good belly. You can do a lot of work out there. I do like this one. I love K-bar. K-bar's awesome. So I really like this knife here for bushcraft, for cleaning up game, chopping. It's very good, very comfortable in the hand. They got great handles. That's probably one of my bigger ones. But I would rather have an axe axe, if rather than a big knife. You know what I mean? Like something that's gonna, hack away. I would probably, again, there's a Tops knife, and it's got like a tanto looking. What is that one called? Oh, I love it. And it would be a great chopper. You just walk through. It's got to be like 20 inches long. That's probably what I would want. I got to think of that name. I wanted it, and I still want it. It's just I've gotten into knife throwing so much. Like I just almost stopped doing a lot of bushcraft, but I always try to get out. I do. Once already this year, twice this year. Oh, bullseye.
One Bone Malone says, same. I've never served, but live a similar life with work. Gone for months at a time, getting to travel the world, but not with the ones that mean the most to me.
Those are the hardest jobs, man. Much respect for you and what you do, even if it's not the military. Any job that requires you to leave your loved ones for long periods of time. And I'm not talking 12-hour shifts. That's not a long period of time. It is in a day. Long periods of time isn't a weekend. Long periods of time is like weeks, months, years, right? I've left my family for years, collectively of time, years. I'm not going to get those years back. Years are a lot. Years, man, years. Like, oh, it's just, we sacrifice, whether it's my life in dead or it's giving up my time and a lot of it to serve, to do missions, to keep people safe, keep drugs off the streets, to keep people alive, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, like if you're just supporting your family and giving them food on their table and you got to leave, right? Oil rigs, miners, like some hard jobs out there. So much respect to you, man. Much respect to you.
Were you talking about a Kodashi blade? Am I saying that right? Someone says you're talking about the Kodashi blade.
No, I'm not. Oh, let me look it up. I got my phone here. I can look it up on this one.
I'm gonna keep reading.
Oh, that's still at 64%. I'm gonna whip up my phone, my other old phone, where I can still connect the internet, and I'll look up that knife I was talking about. It is such a good knife for like chomping. Like if you're going through some bush and thorns, you want to clear a path, you want to find an area that no one's been, you need a nice knife, like, machete style. Like this would be my knife. Otherwise, machetes are awesome, right? Like they're known for that type of stuff. That's what they're known for. And you can throw a machete. I've seen people do it very well. You can throw anything pointy.
It's Doe says, I have a few K bars in BK2.
Yeah.
A few K bars, the BK2, sorry.
Yeah, K-bar. I'm looking at getting a K-bar. Oh man, I'm drawing blanks on a lot of the knives I've been recently looking at. It's a Tanto tip. It's like a Glock. It looks similar to the Glock. And it's a nice K-bar. I'm gonna get that one next. Let me load this up and I'll grab both of those knives. I'll know exactly how to find them. All right, here, give me a second here. Kukri?
Kukri?
Kukris are cool knives, but no, it's not. It's not the Kukri. All right, here.
You're officially at 210 likes
Wow, thank you, everybody.
at 10:11 p.m. Not bad.
Is it 10:11?
Yes. 10 after.
I knew I was gonna go a little longer. This one started a little long. I know we're gonna go tomorrow. I hate stopping. I love throwing. As long as the wife's ready to go, then I'm gonna be. The Storm Vector. That's what it's called. The Storm Vector by Tops.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's for me being a weather guy. It's got lightning that goes down on its design, but it's got a sick Tanto. It looks like it could just hack away. The handle looks great for like even choking up and getting some work done, but it's a great looking chopper. So the Storm Vector, that would be awesome in my books for a large knife. That's the one I would get. And then the K-bar.
Yeah, he even said, oh damn, that's cool. I've never seen that style.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
It's only 12 after 6 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, then I'm good to go. I'm looking for the K-bar one. If you type in K-bar similar to the Glock, you'll get the one I'm looking for. This one, it's this one, but it's a Tanto tip. And I think like even a style like that I could probably throw, but it would be super comfortable. It's got a nice sheath. It's super durable. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's the K-bar one that I would get. Yeah, those are super nice knives. All right, the wife's yawning. I am gonna. I don't like it wrapping up. How many people are on right now?
32.
All right, we're gonna do one can pin here.
The Glock knife is awesome.
Yeah, the Glock is nice. K-bar makes something similar to the Glock knife, and yeah, I would prefer the K-bar's version of it. It's super nice. It's super nice.
Aw, One Bone Malone said, spend time with the family, bro. Get off. If you had plans, the internet will always be here, and in brackets, us.
Absolutely, you guys rock. All
You
right,
guys are gonna come tune in tomorrow.
you better. Tomorrow's
Having
gonna be
a
sick.
great live.
Tomorrow's gonna be such an introduction to the future of knife throwing lives. It's so gonna be sick tomorrow. More fun. We're not gonna talk self-defense. I'll answer questions if I have to, but it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be such a chill time. Let's pin this can. Oh. I got holes in these cans, or I would step in a lip. Oh.
You and your wife seem to have a very friendly relationship. What's the secret to a happy relationship?
God's number one. If God's number one for
Amen.
both of us, we're gonna be able to love each other better, and we're gonna I'm gonna put her first, and then I'm gonna be second. I'm gonna be third. My kids are gonna be before me. But our priorities are set straight, and we look to serve one another. We don't look to get something from one another. I look to give her, and I would expect the same. And if she loves God first and foremost, and I love God first and foremost, then my expectation will come true on her. And I'm gonna have to, as a husband, I'm gonna have to be the lead in that. So I'm gonna have to serve her even if she's not serving me. And I'm gonna have to love her and forgive her and be patient, and all those things are gonna have to be consistent. And I'm not gonna expect tomorrow to be different. I'm just gonna have to be consistent in my love. And the same should go to her if I'm not showing those types of things, right? And we eventually met, and we're both on the same understanding of what our priorities are. God first, me and her second, and then my kids come third. And in that order, or else if I didn't put God first, I wouldn't be able to love her the way I need to get that relationship that we have.
The Doe says, God is great. Amen. What time tomorrow is your live? There's quite a few people asking.
Same time as today.
Is that 6?
So I think I started at 6 Eastern time. So yeah, I was about 6:30 with all the technical issues I had, but I shouldn't have those issues tomorrow. So around 6:30, and we should probably go for 3-4 hours again tomorrow, same time. Oh, what a bullet!
Nice.
What a bullet! Yo! That's what I'm talking about! You see how fast that was? You see that? Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah! Sorry, some celebrations you just go a little nuts, and you're just seeing the real me. There's no fake. There's just me.
There it is.
There it is. There.
Nice.
There it is. There.
Slay, you really got good aim.
Oh man, it's almost they call it a unicorn. That's what they call it if you get the knife through the back and out the front. So I got out the front, and I was very close to the back.
One Bone Malone, have a great night.
Have a great night, buddy. Yeah, man, this live was sick. I'm glad this eventually got rolling. I think a lot of good new people showed up, which is super awesome to see. A lot of people, I think I tried to explain self-defense and knife throwing, and I think it was a lot better this time. Last time, I was kind of critiquing a video, and a lot of people probably didn't see the video, so they didn't know what I was talking about. But I think you got to bring it into a realistic manner, and you got to plan it, strategize it, and then eventually bring a method to it. And that requires training, drills, testing, trial and error. And I think we got there today. We got there today with it, a little bit better. And we're just gonna grow every time I post a video, every time we go live. more or less than posting the videos and shorts. Those are just content, keeping you guys informed, entertained, and showing, teaching in those videos. But lives, we can really get to the bottom of things. Really, like when you type things out, you know, things can get, you know, translated wrong. I think when we can talk to each other, that's the best way of learning. Sharing, showing, demonstrating, explaining, all that stuff is awesome in my books for sharing knowledge, and that's where I would want to go with anything. So yeah, no, today was awesome. Appreciate everybody sticking around with me. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Do what you love. Enjoy it. Get better at it. And I always end off with, you got to grip it, stick it, and hit it. God bless. 214. You guys rock.
Just went up one, 215.